Women's FA Cup final, Chelsea versus Notts County, live from Wembley, tomorrow at 2:45 on BBC One.
Mark Chapman introduces live coverage of an historic and heavyweight semi-final now on BBC Two as Leeds Rhinos take on St Helens for a place in the Challenge Cup final.
Good evening, welcome to Friday Night Rugby League on the BBC and the first of two Ladbrokes Challenge Cup semi-finals. Tonight we have the current cup holders against the current Super League holders. Also, this season they've been the top two in Super League, and between them rather, they've both won the cup 12 times. This is Leeds Rhinos against St Helens. It's going to be a titanic battle. It is a fixture with so much history, and so many great players have represented the two clubs throughout the years. Which player will write his name in history today and take their team to the Challenge Cup final? Leeds one game away from reaching the final and getting ever closer to defending their trophy. And with me this evening, plenty of Challenge Cup experience, ready for Leeds against Saints, and that team will be with me tomorrow as well for Warrington against Hull KR when we're on BBC One from 12:15. And let me introduce you to them. Paul Wellens, recently retired but won 5 Challenge Cups for St Helens. Brian Noble, coach, winning coach in 2003, and Earl, who has played in 2 finals, yet to get his hands on a winner's medal. But I'm picking up your Challenge Cup experience as best I can. Yeah, well, do you know, I actually have got a Challenge Cup winner's medal. Technically it was my granddad's, but that still counts, does it? That definitely counts. You can have that. It's plenty of experience. Are you nervous? Are you excited?
I'm a bit of both. I think I'd be feeling exactly like the players are. You know, a little bit apprehensive. You know, you've got a big game ahead of you, but what's there not to be excited about? The opportunity to book a place at Wembley. Very tight for you, this?
Oh, really tight. I think he might have dropped goal either way, just might settle the score tonight, but the two fabulous teams, both top of the league ladder in the Super League. Hard to call. It might be the bounce of the ball, maybe a referee's decision, maybe a bit of ill discipline that separates these two teams tonight.
Are you sitting on the fence?
To be honest, I was going to sit on the fence, but Brian Noble says I'm not allowed to do that. I don't want any splinters or anything like that, but Leeds are the favourites, overwhelming favourites for me, but this kind of changes everything. A floodlit game as well at Warrington, not the best hunting ground for Leeds in the past. Saints always seem to do okay here.
I tell you what, there is a real buzz around this place. The Halliwell Jones Stadium in Warrington, perfect for a game of rugby league. Both sets of fans, like Paul really, nervous and excited, both expecting their team to get to Wembley. Will James Roby lead Saints there over the next 80 minutes. And as far as Leeds are concerned, of course, for so many years they felt they were cursed in this competition, but now can they get there again? Ryan Hall will wear the players' mic for us this evening, which, if you haven't watched our coverage before, will be a real treat. So we are less than half an hour away from kick-off in our first Challenge Cup semi-final, and this season it has been a Challenge Cup that has kept us on the edge of our seats, as George Riley can explain.
Round 5 was when the cup sparked into life as the big boys began their quest. And the headline makers were Championship leaders Lee, who stunned Super League Salford. The Centurions would have even more days in the sun. In round 6, it was record 19-time winners Wigan, who were dumped out by Hull KR. They rained on their parade in more ways than one. Olders Leeds faced a tricky derby against Huddersfield.
Let's go, boy!
The Rhinos, however, came out all guns blazing.
He's a class act, is Callum Watkins.
And as for other big hitters, St Helens and Warrington, well, they crushed Championship opposition to cruise into the quarters. The tie of the round was at Wakefield, where those likely lads from Lee were at it again.
What a sensational try! Oliver Wilkes, oh, he scored a try! The Centurions have made a little bit of history.
In the quarter-finals, Hull KR did enough to down the Dragons of Catalan. And Leeds walked over Hull FC and strolled into the semis. Saints survived a scare to seal victory over Widnes, while plucky Lee tried to kill that giant again. But this time Goliath was ready and roaring.
You can lift your head high, mate. I reckon you're a good player. You all right? Good stuff, buddy.
So now it's down to 4. Tomorrow, outsiders Hull KR take on Warrington. But that's after this Friday night spectacular, which looks too close to call.
Yeah, and Leeds just running out behind us at the moment, hence why you might be able to hear a lot of boos, because there are probably more Saints fans than Leeds fans in here at this stage. As far as the tournament as a whole has been concerned, Paul Wellens, do you think it's had a bit more vigour, a bit more energy this season?
Yeah, I think it's been a real vibrant competition. I think the performances of teams like Leeds Centurions have done that, being a championship side, but taking the scalp of two Super League teams has been quite impressive, and not only taking those scalps, but in the manner that they did it as well, playing a real attractive brand of rugby.
Yeah, and I suppose as well as Lee, there's Hull KR, as well as Widnes, who pushed Paul Saints close in the quarter-finals.
Well, obviously Hull KR are one of our semi-finalists tomorrow when they take on Warrington, and who hasn't seen Albert Kelly at the moment, who plays for them, is a really exciting player, and they've really focused on tomorrow's game particularly, so that won't be easy to Warrington. But these two teams tonight are going to provide a fare that is salivating for sure.
Just going back to Lee, how impressed were you by Lee during this competition?
I was massively impressed, the way that they performed and also the way that they came out and made sure that they weren't remembered in the wrong way. The style of play was absolutely fantastic, and that's what epitomises this sport, the way we play the game. And the beauty of rugby league is when it's thrown about and some points scored, and they did just that.
I think they wanted to prove that they're a Super League side in waiting.
Without a doubt. I think that was their chance to prove to the whole world that they deserve to be in Super League, and you know, they showed up well, and hopefully for them they can get further and get to Super League at some point.
Yeah, and this will be the table that they will want to be in next season, the current Super League table. Just to highlight it again, we've got the top 2 in Super League at the end of the regular season, Super 8s to come, of course, just a point between them. We're going to hear a lot about it over the next 20 minutes before kick-off, Paul, about 2 of those 7 defeats for Saints, which came against Leeds and were heavy. People say this in the media all the time. Players should be able to explain better than us. Does it have a psychological effect?
It may well do. Like you mentioned, they're both very heavy defeats. I think if you look at both of those games, St Helens were 22 points and 24 points down after as many minutes. They're going to need to start a lot better tonight if they're going to progress into the Challenge Cup final.
And I pick up on the point of the start. They've had 2 cracks at the Saints, so the psychological effect on me is we better get this third one right. They know what's coming, they understand what's going to be thrown at them, and they've got to be a whole lot better at the start of this game.
The other thing people will notice if they were paying attention to that table was just how powerful Leeds' attack is, the number of points they've scored this season. When you've been talking amongst Huddersfield players, is that what you fear most about Leeds, their attack?
I think so. Their style of play, yet again, a lot of offloads. They play a lot off the cuff, which makes them so difficult to handle as well. But at the same time, as we played against them, they technically were really good in every area, and they had a number on us. Their game plan was brilliant when they played us. Every other team, I don't think we felt in that much danger as we did against Leeds.
OK, they continue to go through their warm-ups, do Leeds. Let's hear from both coaches. Damien Johnson has been talking to them both, and we'll start with Brian McDermott.
Well, Brian, Leeds against Saints, semi-final of the Challenge Cup. It gets the juices flowing, I'm sure.
Yeah, big game against a very good team. Saints have got an incredible history, in Super League era, incredible history in the Challenge Cup, and we're up against it tonight.
You've beaten them heavily twice this season. Why are you so keen to play that down as a factor tonight?
Well, I'm not really playing it down. I think I'm being realistic. I think enough Challenge Cup games have turned the form books on its head for me to be able to realistically say I don't think the league will have a bearing tonight on how we play against Saints or how they play against us. If anything, it might add, it might go against us, a little bit more motivation from them.
Kieran, tonight it's all about the start, isn't it, for St Helens?
Yeah, of course it is, and I think we've probably let ourselves down in a few areas in the last two games and played against a very capable and experienced and professional Leeds side who took all their opportunities. So we've got to try and put a big emphasis on our start. We want to be in this game for long periods of time.
Do those defeats linger in the minds of players? Do you have a job to do to try and get inside their heads and put that right?
It's always tough, Leeds have took us to the cleaners on 2 occasions this year, and we believe we are a better side than what we showed on both times. But proof's in the pudding, I suppose. And tonight we've got a third crack at it, and hopefully we can perform a little bit better.
Tell us about your selection, because some of the big guns are back. James Roby, for example.
Yeah, we rested James last week. He makes about 1,000 tackles a game and all the metres and all them efforts, and we rested him and give some kids a chance, and rested Louis last week. He played a lot of minutes too, so, and I rolled my forwards differently last week, so some of them big boys got plenty of minutes on the bench, so they didn't do too much time, so we're pretty fresh and we're ready to go.
You got a bit of a monkey off your back last season by winning at Wembley. Does that mean you... a gorilla. It was a huge thing, I know. Does that mean you can play with a bit more freedom, perhaps?
To a degree, without lacking respect of either the game, the opposition or the ball. There's a huge pressure, or was a huge pressure, to not lose again. That would have been our 7th loss, at Wembley as a club in recent years. So that would have been incredible to deal with. So we got that win. But I think everybody's asking the question, have you got the same desire to get there because you won last year? Absolutely. Couldn't put it into words how much we want to get there again and win again. It's a fantastic place to be at. But to win there is special, and we'd like to experience that again.
So Brian McDermott wants to experience it again, and these are the players he has selected. He hopes will take them to Wembley. Brian Noble will take you through them.
Well, what a back three. And Zach Hardacre celebrating a new 4-year deal, and England internationals Tom Briscoe and Ryan Hall on the wings. Outstanding Australian centre, sidestepping Joel Moon, partners the form centre of the competition, Callum Watkins, leads his try scorer and clean break man. And what about this? Kevin Sinfield, Super League's all-time record point scorer, partners a Super League all-time leading try scorer in Danny Maguire. 3 times Challenge Cup winner Jamie Peacock, the Papua New Guinean tackle machine Paul Layton, and Adam Cuthbertson, the king of the offloads at the moment, of the Leeds front row. Brett Delaney partners stalwarts of the Leeds club, Jamie Jones-Buchanan and Carl Ablett. And coming from the bench, the zip man himself, Rob Beau, massively experienced, can change any game, and new signing from the Brisbane Broncos, Mitch Garbett. To complete the bends, Leeds-born German international Jimmy Kindhorst partners the Samoan big front rower Kylie Luluai.
Thank you very much, Brian. So they're the players that Brian McDermott has selected. We're going to tell you how we think they might play now with a man who has won the Challenge Cup. He's also a man of the match in the final, the Lance Todd Trophy. Here's Robbie Hunter-Paul.
Well, when I look into this Leeds Rhinos forward pack, I think, what about the talent in there? You've got Delaney, Jamie Peacock, Luluai, Cuthbertson, absolutely brilliant. But where they're really, really sexy, and if you forgive my words there, is in their back line. Let's have a look at Ryan Hall. He is a point-scoring machine, just down there next to his centre partner. Ryan is big, he's fast, he's agile, he knows how to get over the try line, and that's what makes him an exciting player. But importantly, they're only as good as the links that they have. And I'm just going to try and squeeze in here with Kevin and Danny. Danny, can I just grab a word off you? Danny, you've played in these big games quite a few times before. Like playing against St Helens also, don't you?
Yeah, we've had some good tussles over the years against Saints, especially semi-finals as well. So it was interesting. We got paired again. So yeah, looking forward to it. The lads are ready, so it should be a great game.
How important would be to get back to the Challenge Cup final again?
Yeah, we're very determined. We had a great run last year and created some special memories. So we'd like to do it again.
All right, good luck, mate.
Well, Danny Maguire mentioned the semi-final success he's had against St Helens, going back all the way to 2003 when he was instrumental with a kick that took the game into extra time. And Paul Wellens, you played in this game.
I did, yes. Danny Maguire, showing all the qualities there in 2003, just what he's capable of. In the game, it was a heartbreaking moment in my career, losing the Challenge Cup semi-final in extra time, and Danny was pivotal in doing that for Leeds.
2003, also in 2010. Seen Jamie Peacock there offloaded to Maguire. You saw Sinfield in 2003 doing it to Maguire. They've got some experience early in this team.
The team that they had then and still have now is ridiculous, the way that they play the game. But Danny Maguire played with him at England and under-18s in 1999, and to see him progress the way he's gone to today is absolutely fantastic.
Let's just take a look at their semi-final record, because they have met several times in semi-finals, 7 in total. If you look, they've all been, if you go from 2001 onwards, shall we say, this century, bar the one in 2002, they've all been really close, Brian.
I don't think it'll be any different today, Mark. I just think that it's such a great matchup. What it does show is that the DNA of both clubs is they're like semi-finals and finals of the Challenge Cup. And I think if you throw Warrington into the mix in the last 5 or 6 years, 3 of our semi-finalists, wow, they've got great DNA and want to get to the final.
Does it help sometimes playing another Super League giant in the semi-final?
Yeah, I think it leaves no margin for error. You know you're coming up against a first-class outfit in Leeds. Obviously, we mentioned earlier the Saints have been humbled by them twice already, so there'll be no illusions of how important this game is.
The reason I asked that earlier is, I suppose, not just in rugby league, but in lots of sports, players will tell you the semi-finals are the one where the nerves kick in, because you know you're one game away, and a little bit when you get to that final, you can enjoy it a little bit more. Is that right?
I suppose you could say that, but I think everyone's individually different. You approach the games differently, and when you go out there, I think it makes no difference. When you get into the game, the intensity does rise, and it is a totally different game from what it would be in Super League, and everyone seems to step up another level, and that's what makes it so interesting, so close.
Go on then, you've got the microphone. Earl, take us through the Saints team tonight.
Our fullback is Adam Quinlan. Great impact in Super League this season already, pops up in the right places at the right time. On the wings, Matty Dawson making the most of his opportunities, and Adam Swift by name, absolutely rapid by nature. In the centres is Jordan Turner. He's put on some size this year, making him even more difficult to handle. Matt Percival, plenty of speed and great footwork as well. In the halves, standoff is Travis Burns, and scrum half is Luke Walsh. Together they'll be pulling the strings. They're very vocal, very well organised and very dangerous. In the front row, prop Kyle Laymore, great footwork, and he'll try and find those quick play balls around the ruck. Hooker, England international James Roby, he'll be chewing up the meters around the middle of the field. And the other prop, Alex Wormsley, top meter maker in Super League. In the back row is Louis McCarthy-Scarswell, rested last week, but he'll be looking to play big minutes this week. Matt Flanagan at loose forward. He'll be looking to do his workhorse role. He works hard, no-nonsense player. Second row, Joe Greenwood, who's been absolutely fantastic this year, being a standout player. On the bench is Josh Jones, going to rugby union at the end of the season. He'll be looking to finish with silverware. Attila Vey, he's back from a bad injury, but he runs really hard and he loves a Tongan side step. To finish the bench off, it's Andre Savelio, one of the young guns in Super League, making a name for himself. And the last interchange place is Mossy Masodo, Man Mountain himself.
Had you got Swift by name, Swift by nature lined up?
Yeah, I've been practicing it all day.
He was writing that down for hours.
Delivered it well though. Nailed it. Let's find out how they're going to play. Here's Robbie.
Tonight, St Helens are going to want to start fast, and the way they're going to do that is to start in the middle of the park. And to lead them, they're going to have that man who's considered a modern-day great, and it's this fella right here, James Roby. out of acting half, he's like a strike weapon. Gets out of acting half at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Importantly, also, he's got great game sense. So when he's looking at the ball left and right, where to go, he picks the right side nearly 100% of the time. But most importantly, he can make 60 tackles on the bounce without breaking a sweat, and that's hugely important. He can only do that stuff, though, if the forwards that they have around them set the platform. Now, who's going to set that platform? Well, this man right here can do exactly that. Absolutely massive Samoan international, Mose Masoe. When he's carrying the ball, he's like a human avalanche. Absolutely devastating when he's got the ball in hand. And another guy who's the man of the moment, this gentleman over here, Alex Walmsley. Just to see if I get a quick question with him. Alex, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
Yeah, no, we feel good as a team. We've come here with a good game plan. To make sure we do a good job on our back five and really get into the grind from the start, but we feel confident.
You think it's going to be tough in the middle?
Yeah, it's semi-final, it's going to be tough. They've got a good middle, so it's important for me and the other pack, to do a good job on them, and hopefully we'll control them outside backs who are very dangerous.
All right, thank you very much and good luck.
Saint's size, Brian Noble, is phenomenal. That bench, the four of them on the bench, weigh 443 kilos.
That's a brilliant stat. I don't know how that transfers to our viewers at home, but trust me, that's big. And they're big. The Josh Jones is one of the three quarters. He's as big as the forwards. Ateleve, Mose Masoe. Wow, just watch out. The clouds are coming across, but when they walk out, they get a bit darker.
Listen, whenever I do rugby league, I always say everybody seems massive in rugby league, with the exception of Brian, obviously. But even when you've been in that Saints dressing room, are you taken away by how big some of your lads are?
They are very big boys. When we did tackle practice and training, that's why I conveniently found myself in the back of the queue. They're not very nice to line up in front of, and they're certainly going to be a handful for Leeds tonight.
We're not long from kick-off. Leeds against St Helens in the Challenge Cup semi-final. Normally, when we bring you rugby league on the BBC, we have a one Leeds and one Saints representative. There's Jamie Peacock playing for Leeds tonight. No John Wilkin, though, from a St Helens perspective, as he has broken his thumb. So he's here. To be honest with you, I have no idea what he's doing. He's just making a nuisance of himself. But we thought we'd catch up with the two of them beforehand, and we wanted their thoughts on tonight, and we asked them both to pose and look moody.
St Helens have been a dangerous side this year. Finished second in the league and overcome a lot of obstacles to do that.
The thing that impresses me most about Leeds is their ability and their experience that allows them to win big games. Tight games, Leeds play well. Big games, Leeds play well.
This year, when we played St Helens, we've got off to two great starts, getting to over 20 points within the first 20 minutes.
On the occasions we've played Leeds this year, they've been at their very best with the ball in hand. They've scored points at will. We need to produce one of our best defensive performances of the year.
The Saints forwards are the biggest in the league. Masoe, Walmsley, Amor, all great carriers of the ball. Then out wide, the young gun, the star so far, Joe Greenwood.
Leeds forward pack is immense, clearly led by Jamie Peacock. But a player who's impressed me this year is Paul Ayton at hooker. He's ran out of dummy half more times than any other player in the Super League.
For me, the most dangerous Saints player is James Roby. A combination of world-class work ethic with world-class quality.
The player I fear most on the Leeds side is the young centre, Callum Watkins. He's been doing things all year that not many of the players in the competition can do. He's one of the most exciting backs in world rugby.
Jordan Turner is a proven try-scorer. He's got athletic ability and a good rugby brain as well. There's one player we're going to have to watch.
Ryan Hall in this Leeds side is essentially another forward on the wing. He's big and as strong as a front rower and is one of the essential parts of getting this Leeds team rolling down the field.
St Helens' key partnership is Luke Walsh and Travis Burns. Walsh, brilliant kicking game, one of the best in the league. Burns loves to run the ball and a fiery competitor as well.
The experienced players in the Leeds side are crucial. Jamie Peacock, Kevin Sinfield, Danny Maguire, Rob Burrow, those players and their experience allow Leeds to change their style during a game, and it's one of the reasons they win big matches.
For me to get to Wembley will be a dream come true. One last time before my days in the Leeds Rhinos shirt are gone forever.
For Saints to get to Wembley this year would mean everything. That feeling when we walk out of the tunnel, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and at that moment you fulfil a lifetime's dream. The Challenge Cup competition this year is hugely important for our club.
Means everything for both men, it means everything for both clubs. You can see Jamie Peacock there in the foreground as well. Brian, you've been taking a look at how this game will be won or lost, and for both sides it's going down the middle, but in very differing ways. Let's start with Leeds.
Yeah, I think for our viewers that the battle in and around the ruck, as Paul mentioned, they're a great offloading team and they go into offload flurries. We highlighted Paul Ayton and Adam Cuthbertson here with sublime skills, testing the Wigan defence in this case on many occasions. And what happens after one offload? They have 2 and 3 and pass flurries of activity to Leeds. They play off the cuff, but they're always sniffing in and around this middle to make the Wigan defence work twice as hard as it should. There's another offload from Cuthbertson, who's got the most offloads in Super League this year, but Ayton, his partner in crime, adding and linking up. This is a fantastic passage of play, and rugby league how it should be played in many people's vision. They get tackled here, but they keep going with the same principles. So that one phase and second phase, and here we see again Jamie Peacock attracts not just 1 but 2, 3 and 4 defenders, making a set of 6 defensive efforts, more often than not into 12. And this try was chalked off, but why, I don't know. It was a fabulous try on the evening. It didn't get allowed, but that epitomises what Leeds want to make the St Helens defence do in and around the ruck.
And you know they're going to do that. So how difficult is it to stop it?
It's extremely difficult. The best way you can describe playing against Leeds, it's an honesty test. You just got to keep turning up for each other in defence. And trust me, if you have a play-off, Leeds will find you and Leeds will punish you.
OK, so that's how Leeds are going to approach today. That is the St Helens dressing room. Saints will go through the middle as well, but differently, Brian.
Well, we've mentioned their size and their prowess physically, so it'd be ridiculous not to expect people like Mossy Massot carrying the ball. Here we see his body lean, attracting 4 and 5 defenders in that instance. This is from a drop goal, from a restart from underneath the sticks. Do your best, boys. Do your best, because that's what's coming at you. Direct style of play, followed by Walmsley. Roby sniping in and around and being direct. Greenwood's direct here. Who's coming next? Put your hand up. Who's going to stand up in this Leeds defence and stop this next play? Because guess who? He's got himself into the action again and again. Bring a member of the crowd if you have to, but you're going to have to turn up and be honest, as Paul Welland says, to stop that guy there. And this is Roby. This is what he's added to his game over the last few years. His kicking game tonight might be the difference between the two teams. Who's the guy leading the kick chase? The most dangerous player, according to Jamie Peacock. James Roby leads the kick chase. Jumps after another go forward run. Kicks the ball into the corner. Who's the guy that's going to go down there and lead the kick chase all the time? James Roby. The difference in styles around the rock is quite obvious.
So, Earl, how difficult is that to deal with? The physical power that then lays the platform for James Roby to do his thing?
Well, both teams play in a different way, but the two hookers are massive to each team. James Roby is more of a player that'll get out and run at the line. He takes the line on, those little kicks into the corners as well, and he's such a tough player as well. Paul Ayton, a little bit different style, gets out and shows the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, compare the two.
That's epitomised there. Obviously, the meter's made by James Roby, and his tackles are phenomenal. He's the best in the game, but very, very similar runs from dummy half. Try assists, very similar. It's hard to split them apart. If I was to suggest the difference is that Paul Ayton's a little bit more lateral than James Roby, and he's trying to release other players in relation to his run. James Roby just sees an opportunity and exploits it with great direct running.
How much does Roby work in training on spotting those opportunities, and how much is natural talent?
A lot of it's natural talent, but he is quite methodical in his work in the week. If you know Robes, he's one of the most laid-back people you can meet. He doesn't let a lot fluster him, and I think it shows in his performances. He's very cool and calm, and invariably makes the right decision on the back.
Do you think you need that in that position, doing what he does, that cool, the calm, the composure?
Yeah, I think so. You know, the hooker is the person who touches the ball the most on the field. So to have someone making decisions in a cool and calm way can only benefit the rest of the team.
Kieran Cunningham said to us, he's drumming it into the players that they've got to start well. How much can that affect you as well? In your head, you're knowing as a player, got to start well, got to start well, got to start well.
I think something we talked about before, and is it a good way to approach a game, saying that you have to start well? Obviously, there's an element of that, and as a coach, you have to get that across to the players, but you can't focus on that too much. It's the little bits of the game, getting off the line speed, which makes it into a good start.
Kieran Cunningham looks the coolest man in the stadium, by the size of the headphones, obviously, but he looks cool and calm and collected. Everybody else is tense and nervous and excited as we gear up for our first Challenge Cup semi-final of the weekend. Warrington against Hull KR tomorrow lunchtime on BBC One. Now live on BBC Two, your Friday night entertainment. Leeds against St Helens, to be called by John Keir, Jonathan Davis and Dave Woods.
Well, it's an ancient and modern rivalry, this. For over a century, these two have been responsible for some of the Cup's most hair-raising, heartbreaking, heart-stopping moments. And they remain two of the game's glamour clubs, neither of them far away from the big occasions each year. And you cannot get closer to a bigger occasion than this. To the winner, a place at Wembley and the Challenge Cup final. The loser will be forgotten by all but the history books. Great noise inside this ground. They know what's at stake. St Helens have not been in a Challenge Cup final for quite some time by their standards. You have to go back to 2008. Leeds, of course, won it last year, ending that miserable hoodoo that had haunted them, or at least this generation of Leeds players who'd gone so many times and failed before. But now they know the secrets of success. Can they replicate it again in 2015? Leeds lining up like this. You'll see Tom Briscoe on the right wing. He's just returned from a 4-month injury layoff only last week, but he scored a hat-trick on his return, so he's okay. He slots back into a 5-star three-quarter line, and nobody offloads the ball as much as prop Adam Cuthbertson. St Helens feature at fullback Adam Quinlan, signed from Australia a month ago. He's scored 4 tries in his first 3 games and has been an instant hit. And watch out for Mossy Massoud, the big number 8 on the bench. When he comes on, he will have quite an impact. Kieran Cunningham, 7 times a Challenge Cup winner in his playing career, and Brian McDermott likewise has tasted success in a final in 2000 with the Bradford Bulls. Jamie Peacock hoping to inspire his side tonight as well. The referee tonight is Ben Thaler. Touch judges Joe Cobb and Tony Martin, and a couple of video referees in James Chard and Robert Hicks. If there is a question to be answered on any try, we will hear from the video referees. We will go live to the video referees to hear why they make the decision that they make. It's a combination of the brutal and the beautiful, all rolled into one here tonight. Plenty of toughness and plenty of talent on show as well. What will divide them in the next 80 minutes? Alongside me, Jonathan Davis and John Keir.
Evening, everyone. Yeah, I just think everyone's spoken about how a big game side they are, Leeds, and I think the experience that they've shown in the bigger games, I think a lot of the result will depend on Burns and Walsh tonight. They've got all the skills, but it's the control from the half-back that could decide this for me.
Here's Cuthbertson with a pass away to Maguire. Leeds have started, as we heard in the build-up, very quickly on the 2 occasions when they played St Helens this year and beaten St Helens handsomely on the 2 previous occasions this year. St Helens will be looking to stymie that if they can. John Keir.
Yeah, statement of intent there from the Leeds Rhinos. Some good go forward, then sending the ball to the edges to try and release this blue ribbon 3-quarter line. But St Helens, they're feeling the kick well. They'll be wanting a real good, steady away set of 6 just to find their way into this semi-final.
Big hits.
I think a lot's been said about the Leeds tactic off the offloads. You have to tackle them, you have to close it down. It is very, very difficult. But as Paul Whelan said, you've got to stand and pick the runners up and have confidence in your inside defender as well to wrap the ball up.
Here comes Walsh with a kick.
looking to make Leeds start from as deep as possible inside their own half, and Briscoe, as we said, he's had a month off with a shoulder injury until last week, but what a return and what an offload to keep Leeds moving here. Ryan Hall with a push away. Defenders back.
And there's the danger. That back three of Leeds of Briscoe, Hardacre and Hall caused trouble for every team. That little half break, a quick play of the ball has caught St Helens offside. What a tremendous start there from the kick-receive teams of the Leeds Rhinos.
It is the spin, it is. They spin, they turn and they offload. And there's always a runner there. They know they have to close it down. Quick play of the ball there will give Leeds first good field position.
Thoughtful look from the coach, the Leeds coach Brian McDermott.
Shoulder.
As his general-in-chief on the field, Jamie Peacock leaves it in. Ayton away from dummy half to Ablett. Ablett with a dummy. To Joel Moon on his left-hand side. Here's Maguire. Good spell of pressure here for Leeds to try and take advantage from if they can. Watkins is going to be dragged down. Hardacre, the fullback, is in a dummy half here. Plenty in the middle, including Cuthbertson. Gets the arm free again. He'll do that all night. Keep that ball alive, but it looks like he's going to be tackled. Ablett left to Moon. Joel Moon with a step. Back on the inside again. The pass is good. Hardacre with a step. Hardacre for the line. Leeds get the opening try. And look at that celebration. The intention was to start quick, and boy, have they started quick. Hardacre the scorer.
What a tremendous rugby league try that was from Zach Hardacre. A true team try. It was just like, as we showed in the highlights, when we were analysing what Leeds might bring to the game. This is what Leeds Rhinos bring to the game. There's the penalty. Not square at marker, offside. Bought the field position, but this is exactly what they'll bring. Cuthbertson, it looks if he's wrapped up, pops the offload in. Ayton sniping across the field, looking for some help there. There's Joel Moon now. I'll just use my footwork and skirt it across the defensive line. There's a bit of a gap. I'll go against Luke Walsh, says Zach Hardacre. Over he goes. What a try! Ball movement, skill, evasiveness, absolutely tremendous.
They've got to stop that offload. They know he does it. They have to wrap it up. That is crucial for St Helens tonight, and they've got to keep pushing up. They are lateral, they've got to push, keep pushing, and put the pressure on them.
Well, you say stop the offload. I think that's his 107th offload of the season, and that's twice as many as anybody else in the game.
They have analysis, they know what's going to happen. They have to, if they're going to win this game, they have to close the offload down. End of.
Kevin Sinfield looking to add the two. He won't miss this.
Yes.
Over it goes, 6-0, Leeds lead. Early stages, advantage Leeds.
And where have we seen throughout the games we've seen on television this year, the decision, the penalty decision gives the field position and then they score. They're drifting across the field. Luke Walsh is covering. He's overread it and he's stepped inside.
Well, what a start this is from the Rhinos. It's 110 miles per hour. And St Helens must match this. They really have. They've got to hang in there. They've got to start with well, because they cannot allow the Rhinos to get 20 points in the plus column, which they have done in the two previous league meetings.
Peacock with a drive away.
He's hurt as well.
Here's Ayton. Oh, there's a St Helens player left down injured there.
Yeah. Not head, not head. Ready,
and it doesn't look good.
I think it's Joe Greenwood, is it? Joe Greenwood?
Well, he's being attended to in the back play, but trying to put numbers in. It is Greenwood, and that would be a big blow because he's very incisive down that left side, and that's exactly where Leeds have gone, where Greenwood would be defended just inside Luke Walsh.
Play on, he's done it.
Here's Ayton. Now Jamie Jones Buchanan.
He's cutting his shoulder.
Maguire. It's Moon with the offload again. Another offload. They refuse to be tackled with the ball in hand. Unless they have to be. Greenwood's back in the defensive line. But Leeds are on the hunt for more here. 6 tackles. Sinfield's kick. Test for Swift. Up he goes. Down it comes. Watkins has picked it up. It was knocked on. Otherwise Jamie Peacock was over for a try.
I'd like to see that again.
Well, it's a great kick, isn't it?
It is.
At the end of this set, they've asked questions early with the offload. And then Sinfield puts the ball right at Swift, and it's Tom Briscoe that climbs, and he does seem to just knock the ball forward.
This is the tackle. He gets his body position wrong. He's got a swinging arm, hurts himself. The good thing about Sinfield is so precise. A good kick is where you hang it up there, gives it hanging time for your player to compete for it. Mistake
Lost the ball.
again.
That ball knocked on by McCarthy Scarsborough. Well, they really are dominating here, Leeds, aren't they, in these early stages?
It's absolutely white hot, isn't it, this? And it was McCarthy Scarsborough there trying to carry the ball. He singled out Joel Moon, but Moon stood up to that. And I think he's exactly right there. It was a loose carry, a knock-on, so it's Leeds head and feet.
Had a couple off each, don't go early on the 10.
Think about
Wait there,
Leeds.
Danny, wait!
They don't do many mistakes.
Okay.
Put you under pressure.
Two games they played uncharacteristically. Leeds winning heavily against St Helens, 46-18 and 41-16. And I think in both games they were winning 20-0 after 20 minutes. So that's the basis of it, isn't it? And here they come again. Led this time by Delaney.
Ready, James, wait! Trapped it, trapped! Go,
This is Ayton. Now Peacock. Real test for St Helens here. They need to hang on. Ayton rushing out again, rolls it away, gets a bit of fortune.
Move on Tony Lang, James.
Incredible pace they've started up, Leeds. St Helens have got to hang on in.
Cuthbertson.
Okay.
Lovely ball.
So that's fine by me.
With a double pump from the prop.
But here's the last tackle play. Let's see what they've got in mind for us this time, the Rhinos.
Big tackle this is for Saints.
4 on the left. Maguire's one of them. Prods it to the in-goal area. McQuinlan's there to snap it up. And ain't he be a star since he's been signed by St Helens?
He's been just what they wanted. I think it suits their style of play. His support running is very good. He comes on, finishes, tries off. Well, Saints have got to settle now. Good yardage and a very good kick and chase. No mistakes in this set. Put the pressure back on the Rhinos.
Wait! Brett, nice and quick!
Here's Roby out of dummy half. And the drive led by Walmsley, who's tackled on the 30 metres. Roby out now with a kick downfield, the relieving kick downfield, but Hardacre catches safely enough and runs it back.
Move, Jordan!
Good start here for Leeds.
Yeah, it's a good start, but that's what St Helens will have to do. Their kick chase will have to be absolutely first class. The kick needs to be long and deep, but the chase needs to be a full line so that there's no gaps whatsoever for this Leeds Rhinos attack.
He needs to hit the grass though. He can't leave Harding to catch it.
Delaney.
I tell you what, they've definitely targeted Luke Walsh defensively.
They really are. They seem as if they're playing on fast forward as well at the minute, Jonathan.
Cuthbertson, lovely little ball on the inside to Maguire, and here comes Sinfield galloping up to it.
It's like a well-oiled machine, isn't it, at the moment?
Hardacre into the line again, dribbles the ball to the in-goal area. There's a dive and a claim. And we're going to get our first video ref call of the night here. No, we're not. I thought he was going upstairs, but he's decided that it was a knock-on, and it will be St Helens with much relief for them, who get the tap back on the 20.
Again, quality kick that gives your own players the opportunity to regather the ball.
Yeah, it is a good kick, isn't it? But just knocked forward there. So the correct decision from Ben Thaler, without referring to the video referee. At the minute, Saints are just hanging on in there, Jiffy. They really are.
They have to.
Look at that. 79% possession, 76% position for Leeds so far.
That's total domination so far, first 10 minutes.
Here's Walsh. Savelio, who's in a really energetic force in the St Helens pack in recent weeks. 6 tackle. Walsh puts it high and gets too long this. Hall will stand out of play when he catches it. So a tap back on the 20, which he can take quickly and does. He's got the right to do that because he was the man who fielded the ball. And down he goes. You can barely take your eyes off the game at the moment. It's
I think
ferocious stuff. Great offload by Cuthbertson. Here comes Watkins up to the halfway line. He wanted to offload, he can't. So a rare hesitation in play. Damien Johnson, I think you have news on the touchline.
Yes, the St Helens physio is keeping a beady eye on Joe Greenwood. He's got a shoulder injury after taking the full impact of Jamie Peacock on the hoof. Just recovered from a broken leg, actually. Came back into the side last month, but they're desperate to keep him on the pitch.
Ayton out of dummy half, dashing forward again. Delaney. Watkins just overrunning, but Delaney's still running.
It's Walsh again, they've targeted. Keeping going down this channel.
Ayton.
And
Here's
again.
Sinfield with a chip. Swift has got to deal with it, and he has. He's done very well, the winger there.
What a place, though, to turn the ball over. 1 metre in the field of play from both sideline and try line. Tremendous kick there. And Leeds are absolutely dominating, but Saints have got to ride this storm and come through the other end.
And the reason, for the viewers at home, they're targeting Luke Walsh. He's the St Helens playmaker. They're going to run at him, run at him, run at him. When they attack then St Helens, they hope he'll be tired.
And this whole St Helens line is going to be tired the way it's going. Lucy Greenwood is clearly feeling it.
Okay.
Burns with a kick.
And there's such a difference. Look where the Leeds players are kicking the ball, and look where the St Helens players are kicking the ball.
Yeah, we remarked, didn't we, Jiffy? It was 1 metre away from the St Helens line. The first tackle for the Rhinos is 40 metres away from their own goal line.
Here's Briscoe.
Move, Louis!
Ayton just marshalling things at dummy half. Real good battle of the two dummy halves tonight. Paul Ayton, the Papua New Guinean, and James Roby, the England international. There he is, the St Helens number 9.
Just going up the ruck, 1 man out.
Penalty for Leeds.
Too quick, play the ball too quick, defensive line not set. Offside.
I think they might. It'd be interesting to see the decision here. They usually go for the 2 points to get that difference. There it is again.
Well, you see there, the ball's brought back into play, and they play the ball, and he had a choice of many players there from St Helens. And Coach Brian McDermott always makes the point that it's up to the players whether they take 2 points or put it in the corner. And obviously the boss on the field, Kevin Sinfield, has decided he wants to turn this advantage to 8 points if possible.
I think they play a lot. They take a different decision than most of the other Super League sides. They know, right, 6 points, 8 points. They trust their own defence. They'll have to score twice, and they're confident in their own defence, so they'll try and get that buffer.
Nobody's scored more points in the modern era than Kevin Sinfield. And one of the reasons for that is because his goal kicking is absolutely metronomic. He rarely misses. And the bigger the occasion, the bigger the pressure, the more accurate he often becomes. That's not one of the most difficult kicks he's ever faced. Once kicked one off the touchline in a semi-final against St Helens all those years ago to take that match into extra time. We saw a bit of that in the build-up, didn't we? The 2 tries from Danny Maguire, which won it for Leeds that day, but the kicking of Kevin Sinfield kept them in the game that day. 8-0 Leeds lead.
And full value for that 8 points to nil. It's been absolutely sensational rugby league. And St Helens must absolutely be wondering what's hit them. It's been like a whirlwind.
Peacock.
We sound surprised, really, but we shouldn't be. They start so well.
Wait, boys, don't
quality players, but Saints have just got to hang on there. They are a quality side and can rebound back. Momentum will come their way. They have to just hang on in there.
Here's Mossy Massol making his first contribution there. Just entered the fray.
Kieran Cunningham would have preferred to have put him on in different circumstances, wouldn't he, with Saints enjoying a little bit of possession. Instead, he's going to have to defend a lot, which might just take some petrol out of his tank in these early moments of his inclusion.
It'd be interesting to start. I don't think that he's been tackled yet, Cuthbertson. Every time he's been gone into contact, he has offloaded.
Are we talking tonight or this season? Because I think that holds true for the season.
Got to just right
Ayton, Watkins. Ball away to Briscoe, who comes back in on the angle and finds Peacock in support. Peacock arcing on the outside. What a night for Jamie Peacock. Last chance to reach a Wembley final for him, of course. Maguire. Ryan Hall is hunting and gets up there and drops it as he came down short. Well, that was close.
It's an onslaught, isn't it? At the moment, it's an onslaught. And you just got to hang on in there, Saints.
Well, they competed really well for that because Hall seemingly had the ball there, but there was Percival in there trying to claw it away from Travis Burns. It's really desperate stuff. But that, once again, is a very, very good finish to the end of that set. The kicks that Leeds are putting up are actual contests.
That's a lot to do with experience.
Well, Amor, the Cumbrian.
Wait, Jamie, don't go early.
Here's Roby. Walsh.
40.
Kicking again early,
40-20.
desperately searching for some kind of purchase downfield. The 40-20 would have been handy, but it's not been out of play.
Good pick up.
One. Move, Mark! Ready,
Is that
boys,
almost
boys,
a desperation kick there?
It is. They need the ball going out of play, Dave, I'll tell you. They need to make this stop-start because the tempo is all in Leeds' favouring them. This game is being played at the pace of the Leeds Rhinos. And St Helens need to put the ball out of play, walk to a scrum, just to disrupt it a little.
I know it's difficult, but they've got to stop the offloads. They have to stop the offloads. They'd run out of defenders if they don't.
Just seen Massaw on for Walmsley and Kylie Luai, 37 years of age, this place is Jamie Peacock with a similar age.
Guys, don't go early, wait! Go.
It's like a pensioners club, those two, isn't it? Here's Sinfield with a kick. And again, he's underneath it and has taken it.
That's his worst kick so far.
Always looks safe under the kick as Quinlan since his arrival. Robbie Hunter-Paul has got news. Robbie.
Well, I can only agree with you guys up there in the gantry because Musa Massaw was actually warming up on the sideline, actually 11 minutes. So that tells you one of two things. One, they're so frantic in the middle of the park that they needed to give Alex Walmsley a rest. Or two, they needed something desperately to mix the game up because it's all one-way traffic at this point in time.
There's Amor.
They need to get him into the game, though. You know, defending, he's not going to add anything as a defensive player. They need Massaw to get the ball.
Chest.
Well,
Play on.
The kicking is not quite what St Helens were hoping for.
But they're controlling where the game is being played, so that's why the territorial. I don't think he's had a kick yet in the Leeds half. So all the control, possession, territory, everything is with Leeds at the moment.
Here's Luluai. Early touch for him since his arrival, the Samoan and New Zealand international. Ayton. It's Joe Moon, who ducks and dives and threatens to make the break. Ayton, one-handed pickup, scoops it and off he goes, straight away. Flicks it back to Moon again. Moon, away from Walsh, onto Watkins, here's Briscoe, Leeds are flowing, Briscoe with a kick, Watkins is leading the chase, but the ball wins the race, and out of play for attack back on the 20-metre line.
They look so dangerous, they just get on the outside shoulder every time.
Oh, here he comes, here's Big Nossi, first run from him.
And that's a good hit by Kylie Luai, isn't it? If you're going to run hard, I'm going to stop you in your tracks, fella.
And it looks like Mossie's come worst off, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think he's trying to get some breath from anywhere.
Another interchange there, Tillervey on the field.
He's a good ball carrier.
Go on.
Here's Roby. McCarthy Scarsbrook pushing away a couple of defenders and making his way further downfield. It's the best set that St Helens have had with ball in hand for quite a while. Walsh with the inside pass and Quinlan sniffing the opportunity, but Leeds' defence was wise to that. Ayton made the tackle but has hurt himself. Walsh will carry it. Is that an attempted trip?
That's a penalty. That is a penalty.
Well, it's a handover.
He's given a turnover, but I'm with you. I thought that he played at the ball carry there with his foot, did Luluai.
Go! Discipline, lads.
You know, he didn't catch him. The intent was there.
Play on. Push him forward, play on.
He had the arm out as well, though, didn't he? Cuthbertson. He's been tackled. Tackle with the ball still in his hands.
Come out that run cleanly. Send me you Moss. Go.
Ayton. Delaney.
3. Move, man! We hold this 10. We're here, pal. Don't go early.
Have a little look around here, which is good news for St Helens. They're slowing things down a little bit. Adler.
Go.
Cuthbertson again. Could be in line for an England call-up, Adam Cuthbertson, because of his Warrington parentage.
Don't ask John Keir that. Don't ask him that question.
I'm going to tell it.
Bit touchy is.
Maguire's kick is misdirected. Rare mistake from Leeds in these opening 20 minutes or so.
That's probably the worst end of set there, but interesting that there's 3 substitutes already on the field, and we've just hit 20 minutes from St Helens. That shows you the pressure that they've been under, and it shows the dominance that Leeds have exerted upon this game.
But they're a good side, Saints. You know, they'll try and roll this at the moment, and then they know that their time will come.
Go, 2.
Here's Vare, Vare. He and Greenwood at the start of the season were very much the form second row. But they both got long-term injuries. They're both playing their way back into form. Vare only returned last week for St Helens. It's Walsh. It's a good carry by McCarthy Scarsbrook down that left channel. 5 gone. Here comes the 6th.
Good kick is needed here by Walsh.
Swift in at dummy half. Walsh twists it away to Burns. Burns now with a chip to the corner. Pressure on Leeds here for a moment. Hall goes up to take it, but just as St Helens were under pressure earlier on, now they've got a kick that puts Leeds under pressure.
Yeah, that's the best set that St Helens have had with ball in hand all game there. They rolled the Rhinos back a little. They left some players on the ground or retreating as they were playing the ball. Got go forward and finished with a good kick. So now it might just be turning the momentum.
Just get that feeling, don't you, that momentum might be switching, as you say. But
the pace has definitely dropped. It had to drop. The start was sensational.
Here's Luluai. Just a big effort forward by him.
Move! Ready, Joey? Good lad, go.
Burrow. Sinfield.
40.
Roby offering a little bit of pressure, which means that Sinfield's kick might not have been as good as it should have been.
Offside.
And Quinlan is challenged by a couple of Leeds players who are offside, so a penalty here for St Helens.
Yeah,
and the momentum is slipping, moving just a little.
Yeah, Mona's definitely offside. But the clear thing there, the pressure that Roby put on Sinfield. Just watch, see, he didn't have time to kick. He's way offside there near the 40. But this will give St Helens field position.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think both teams, Leeds have been sensational. Yeah. St Helens rang in there. I think referee Ben Thaler's had a good first quarter of the game as well.
Keep that focus,
everything at the minute has got absolutely spot on.
Okay, Cal, 10 metres, pal. Keep going, go.
Here's Savelio.
Shoulder.
Leeds having to defend inside their own half for a full set of 6. St Helens with a chance to turn the screw a little. McCarthy Scarsbrook has come to a big corridor. Down the middle there. 4 tackles to go, and St Helens are getting closer. This is Walsh. Burns. Watkins was in there to try and put him off. Burns did well to keep a hold. Now Roby has a look himself. Finds his way blocked. Walsh. Oh, McCarthy Scarsbrook's lost it. Picked up by Abler. That'll be the advantage play. And the 6 tackles start from here.
Just as you felt the Rhinos were suffering for the first time in the game, with some defenders with hands on knees, and they looked a little fatigued. The error there from McCarthy Scarsbrook just let them off the hook.
They needed a repeat set. I agree with John. They were looking tired. They needed a repeat set to test the Leeds defence.
Kieran Cunningham scrutinising. Rob Burrow scurrying on from the bench. Burrow's making things happen. Sinfield's in support. Watkins is a finisher, but he'll spin it away to Moon. Moon has Hall to his left-hand side, and Joel Moon is over for a breathtaking Leeds try.
That's a brilliant try. I have to say, that one mistake instead of the repeat set, and he bring this guy onto the pitch when people are tired. Rob Burrow, how many times has he done it? But still, they've got to keep pushing up. They're standing off the lateral runners, John. They've got to keep pushing up.
Well, Rob Burrow probably on the field, not as a routine substitute because of Aiton's injury, but what fantastic play this is. He goes to the line, he skirts across the line, Walsh comes out of the line, he's through, and look at this, once Leeds hit the fresh air, they pour through in numbers, and that's exactly what they've got there with the support play. They've got the St Helens scramble all over the place, and Moon there just finishes with the little show and go to score, but it was Burrow's incisive running that caused the initial problem, and then it's the support play of Leeds that's sensational. Absolutely fantastic composure and no little skill there to finish the try. An outstanding rugby league try.
Started by that man there.
Well, it's the night of a blue moon, isn't it? Inevitably, it had to be Joel Moon who scored at some point tonight. Kevin Sinfield with a chance to add another 2 to give Leeds a 3-score lead if he puts this over. St Helens need a response. They thought they were getting a response Well, they had that slapped in their face. They need to respond quickly again. Sinfield always missed it. He's missed one.
Big miss.
So 12-0. Leeds lead. Robbie Hunter-Paul, what are you thinking?
Well, this is why Leeds is such a devastatingly strikeable. They can build pressure, they can keep you on the back foot, but they've got a player like Watkins, Moon on the other side, they can strike at any time they want, points from anywhere on the field.
How does St Helens get themselves back on their feet from here?
Well, I thought they were getting themselves back on their feet, Dave, but it's a matter of just being tough and going to places you've never been before. It's the semi-final of a Challenge Cup, and this does not surprise me how Leeds have started the game. I thought they'd weathered the storm, but obviously they haven't, and Leeds are so dangerous. They need to hang in there, buy some possession, buy some territory.
They need field position. That's it, mistake.
Cuthbertson's offload has not come off. It's Masoi who gets the ball. And St Helens do have it back. And here comes Quinlan.
They need possession in the right areas, because they can score tries, St Helens.
Here's Atelier Vea. It's a test for any defence.
Well, they need composure from the half-back, as I mentioned. Walsh and Burns need to control it.
Savelio taking it on with real purpose, real energy. 10 yards away from that Leeds line. Roby is poised. Plenty to the left, including Walsh and Burns and Turner. He's a handful, but there are 4 big hands to make sure he's going no further. Not for the minute, anyway. Walsh again. Mossy Masoi comes on. Not quite at full pace, but he's still a big mountain of a man to stop. Picked up by Roby, a dummy half. It's a penalty. Well, would you say clever play by Roby because he sensed Sinfield was standing in an offside position?
Yes, you would, but you'd also feel that Kevin Sinfield had to do that, and this is the real opportunity, a repeat set in great field position for St Helens.
Savelio is the first man to test that resolve of Leeds. Back-to-back sets of 6. For once, it's Leeds who are running out of oxygen from their lungs, standing on their own goal line. And here's McCarthy Scarsbrook.
Great tackle.
He's lost it. He's lost it.
Great tackle. Kailulai.
Outstanding.
That's the difference, though, isn't it? That is the difference.
Well, what they do when they send the lead runners in and the sweep runners round the back, they test your nerve there, but Leeds held the nerve, and Kailulai did with a tremendous low tackle for a big man, and then the error from McCarthy Scarsbrook with St Helens capped on the Leeds line.
That's the difference at the moment. Error count. They've had no continuity to put them. We think Leeds are tired, and then they spill it and leave Leeds off the hook. That's the difference. Leeds, when you're on the hook, you stay on it.
Well, there's a bit of Challenge Cup pedigree there, isn't there? Kieran Cunningham, 7 times a winner. Alongside him, Sean Long, 3 times a Lance-Todd Trophy winner. And John Wilkin making up that triumvirate. But between those 3, that brains trust. They have to find a way of making something happen here. He's very happy with what's happening at the moment. Brian McDermott, the Leeds coach. His side are performing 10 out of 10.
Yeah, you'd say so. Very near to 10 out of 10. Odd little bits that he'll seek to improve, but if they keep playing to this standard, they may well be going down Wembley way.
Oh, here's Delaney. Just wrestling his way out of what you'd have to say is a fatigued attempt in defence. Hardacre stopped. Burrow picks up. He's going to have another scamper just to break a few more St Helens hearts here. Turner's the man who makes the tackle. Driven in by Garbutt, Mitch Garbutt. Only signed last month from Australia, from Brisbane. On from the bench. Sinfield with a kick and finds touch. And what's the word? Game management. Or 2 words. Kevin Sinfield has it in bundles, doesn't he? Well, there might be a hyphen in it. There might be a hyphen in it, which would make it only 1 word.
We'll have 2 words, Woodsy, but it's good at it anyway, isn't it? And that's, as Leeds were under the cosh there, they've then worked the ball out from their own end, put the ball over the sideline, walked to the scrum to regain their composure. That's clever. That's why Kevin Sinfield's played so many games.
There's Alex Murphy and his lovely wife Alice. Watching on, he's a player, wasn't he? Alex Murphy. Was it 5? I think it's 9 Challenge Cup final appearances as coach and player, Alex Murphy.
I think the difference, again, going back, Saints have missed 8 tackles, Leeds only 2. So it's and the completion set's only 57%. So that's a huge difference at the moment. They need to rectify that. This guy looks dangerous. I think he...
Oh, great play by Atelier Bayer, and Quinlan's there in support and looking round and flicks it away. Savelio will pick it up, making Leeds do a bit more work here.
Well, that was good discipline from Carl Ablett because he was called offside by referee Ben Thaler, and he let it go, knowing full well it was tackle 4.
McCarthy Scarsborough.
4, move! Right, Adam, ready? Wait! Go!
Very nearly half an hour played. Leeds dominating this Challenge Cup semi-final by a distance, but only 12-0 on the scoreboard. So St Helens still in with a shout, but they need to make things happen. Here's Quinlan, forward pass by Walsh to him. And what happens next doesn't matter because the referee calls it back. And it'll be a handover for Leeds.
Yeah, rightly so, but there were elements of danger there from St Helens. A nice little right foot step that released him from Joel Moore, but it was forward to Quinlan. Rightly called, and consequently last tackle, it's a turnover, and Leeds will march the ball forward once again.
They're just not as clinical at the moment. But that'll come, you know, they've been totally outplayed first half an hour, 12 points down.
Just called held.
One try, they're back in this.
But it isn't just the 12 points, Jiff, it's the fact that all the energy expended in restricting this Leeds, it's just been an avalanche, hasn't it, of players coming through and ball carriers, offloads, you name it, everything.
Cuthbertson with a lovely pass to Ablett, and Ablett steps. And Cuthbertson, having gone down injured, has stayed down just for a moment.
I think he's all right.
He's just getting a breath. God. Here's Maguire. This is Joel Moon. Hardacre.
Even the centres are bumping off forwards and getting offloads. You have to close it down.
Hardacre bouncing on his toes but ending up flat on his backside as the kick downfield from Burrow. He's going to go out of play. It'll be a tap back on the 20 for St Helens.
Yeah. And look at the offloads, David. 17 from Leeds, 6 to St Helens, and the majority of that 17 have been positive as well, where they've gained something on the back of it.
What it does, it just drains the tank of energy. That's all it does.
And just to explain, there's a lot of people who'll be watching tonight who might not be used to watching rugby league, have not seen it much. An offload is the ball released from in a tackle.
Yes, it is. Yes, there's pre-line play, which is obviously before you enter the collision, but an offload is when you're in the collision and you either stand an offload or play through the collision and pop it around the back.
So it's a risky play, but Leeds have got something of a real bonus of it.
Well, they've mastered it this year, haven't they? They've added that to their game.
Here's Savelio.
All the dangerous runners that they have.
Hold the line, guys. Don't go.
It's a good weapon to have.
Roby. Burns will send it spinning high. Hardacre underneath it. As we've said, is just about the safest fullback under the high ball in Super League at the moment.
Again, they're kicking from near the halfway line. That was an easy take for a quality player like Hardacre. The difference is they are clinical. Knock on. First mistake.
Yeah, Kevin Sinfield there at dummy half. That's the first real bit of sloppiness, you can say, that the Rhinos have coughed up. Obviously not pleased with himself, but they play the ball there. And it should be a clean pick-up. It wasn't. A little bobble.
Yeah, he tried. Forward, me.
All right, but the ball's gone.
King Kev.
Have you committed? Make sure it's not a foul. Discipline, boys.
Couple of MBEs in that Leeds pack, aren't there? Jamie Peacock, MBE, and Kevin Sinfield, MBE. He's just got his master's degree as well, I think, this last week or so, Kevin Sinfield.
It has. This is a big set for St Helens. It's another one where they're in the Leeds danger area, but they just need to be clinical and come away with some points.
Walmsley.
Move, Jamie! Go on, lads.
8 yards away. Roby to Walsh to Burns. They've lost it again. And Leeds have knocked on but the second one. So it will be Leeds who get the ball back.
It's just the timings at the moment. He just had the hole was there. It's a great angle that Greenwood runs. He just has to hold his run a little bit more. Just watch. That's a tough tackle for Colin Watkins, but if he just gets a little bit wider and later, he is in that hole because Burns has held that defender up.
Okay, step Jordan, get on
a little shake of the head there from Travis Burns. They know that the execution is just slightly off. And that's why Leeds really haven't been threatened. They've handled whenever St Helens have been down to their end. It's very important now for the Rhinos that they finish this set and kick well at the end of it.
Big game tomorrow, of course, the second semi-final, Warrington and Hull Kingston Rovers. From Headingley, 12:15, we're on air tomorrow on BBC One. That'll be a good occasion as well.
Well, this is a cracking occasion, isn't it, Dave? It's a great atmosphere. I mean, there's a big crowd here, and there's been some great rugby league being played. It's Friday night rugby league at its best.
Here's Ablett looking to plough a hole through the middle of that St Helens defence, but that was a fifth tackle, so on to 6 Leeds. Taking it with a kick of Burrow, and Quinlan will just watch it out of play. And another great kick. Nothing fancy, but just defensively, just putting St Helens on the back foot again, making them start their set of 6 from within their own 10 metres.
Yeah, how clever is that from Rob Burrow? It's in a dummy half. It's really difficult to get kick pressure on the dummy half, especially when it's a quick play the ball. Just jumped out, dabbed it into the corner. We'll walk to the scrum. We'll get some oxygen in our lungs. We'll be ready for this next defensive set.
Brian McDermott there. Thompson Tonic just behind him. I don't know if you saw, working for our BBC radio colleagues, former Great Britain International, of course.
I'd like to see Vea running out a little bit wider for St Helens. He has been their biggest threat so far. But with all the domination Leeds have had, 12 points. Saints will be happy coming in at 12 points because they have been totally dominated in the first half.
Roby to Vea, Atelier Vea again here. Consternation caused. Burns thought about the pass, Sinfield moved into position to threaten the interception had he tried the pass, so he decides to run instead. It was a difficult pass, but Watts does well to pick up and then offers it on to Savelio to drive it forward again. 5 tackles gone. Here comes the 6th.
They need to compete for this ball. Hang it up then, compete for it.
Well, the high bits there. McCarthy Scarsbrook's after it and absolutely steamrollers.
Great tackle.
Timed it to perfection because he's got to hit the man when he's got both feet on the ground, and he did that.
That's a good end of set, that.
Oh, and Leeds under pressure here.
Because what he does, Dave, as the fullback receives the ball, he receives the man. That's 1 tackle gone, and already now the Rhinos are under pressure from this aggressive St Helens defence.
You've got to be brave to play at fullback, Jiffy.
You have to be brave to get on the field. Respect for everyone who crosses that right cross, let me tell you.
3 minutes of the half remaining. Leeds are responding with a good carry forward by Garbutt.
Last chance. They need pressure on the kick, you know. Get the pressure on him.
Sinfield, there was pressure, but he got the kick away. Swift underneath it. On the full. Chance to make extra yards when you catch it like that.
That's a good chase, though.
Wow.
That's a very, very good chase by Leeds.
Yeah, it was the man, wasn't it, who kicked the ball. What a tremendous take that was from Hardacre, and a good, solid defensive hit from McCarthy Scarsbrook.
Wait, guys.
Roby. Percival. Cutting
back
in.
Keep possession now, Saints. Don't allow them. Leeds to have the ball. You're in control there.
Wormsley, great wrecking run from Alex Wormley. Good pass away to Quinlan. Quinlan thought about the kick, decides he's going to carry this. He thinks he can wreak havoc. What a pass away! Percival! Mark Percival, the scorer! But what a job Adam Quinlan did there! The little Aussie is proving a marvel for St Helens, and Saints are back in this cup tie.
Anybody watching, any kid watching, when you run the ball with 2 hands, you keep the defences guessing. Quinlan was brilliant. His support play to get into that position, and then he ran the ball with 2 hands, kept the defenders away from him, and put Percival over. As we mentioned, St Helens can play. They've hung on in there, they've been on the ropes, and back they come.
Yeah, they have been on the ropes, and what a carry this was from Wormsley. Sidesteps Cuthbertson there, has presence of mind to offload to Quinlan, and that's great work, because you say, 2-handed carry, then into 1, keeping them guessing, and a lovely little pass at the end there to Percival. Tremendous try there, and they've been on the ropes, and they've come through the other side, and it was that man Wormsley that bust the line, and it's the composure of Quinlan that's allowed Percival to cross in the corner.
It's quick play, the ball, great run by Walmsley, spots a tired forward, misses the tackle, Cuthbertson, and great support play by the full-back and a lovely finish. Quality side, they've hung on in there and they deserve a lot of credit, St Helens. Leeds have been fantastic in this first 40 minutes, but they are still in the game and they will go in at half-time with momentum on their side.
Well, Adam Quinlan signed supposedly as an emergency measure because of the full-back problems that Saints have had. I think it's, what was it, the 6th or 7th full-back that Saints have had this year, Adam Quinlan. Kieran Cunningham will tell you they've been tracking him a long time. He's not just popped up on their radar recently. But what an impact. 4 games now. The first game he played, he scored a hat-trick. The second game he played was on this ground against Warrington, when his run in the last seconds of the game set up a winning St Helens try. And then last week he scored another try, and then today in a Challenge Cup final, a semi-final rather, it's his run that helps make this a real deal again with half-time at looming. Walsh with a kick. This is an important one. Oh, he's put it wide. So it remains 12-4, but the fact that St Helens are still in this cup tie owes so much to the fact that Walmsley managed this run.
Yeah, it was a great run, wasn't it? A marvellous run. It's a good, we've seen some really good tries, and this is up there with them. And it was Walmsley with the initial bust, but I just love the composure of Quinlan there that kept the Leeds scramble defence guessing, and he made the right decision at the end for Percival.
Move, Joel! Carl!
Did sign him at the start of the season. I think he'd been the running for Man of Steel, wouldn't he? His form in the last 4 games, I think it's too late for that.
There's a lot of rugby to be played yet, Dave.
There is. Movement! Hold it, lads, wait here! Wait!
Here's Roby at dummy half. Last 15 seconds of what has been a pretty good first half. Low scoring,
3,
but high energy. Roby.
3.
Walmsley.
Play on 3.
Quick ball away to Turner. Turner's making inroads. Hooter sounds in the background to thwart any late ambition St Helens might have had there. But it's been a game, a half of contrasts. Leeds going at 100 miles an hour, thoroughly deserving their lead at 12-0. Maybe deserving more than that, but Percival's try on the half-time hooter, making this a contest. And we're going to hear from a couple of the stars of that first half with Damien Johnson.
James Roby's with me. James, you're still in it, but you had to hang in there.
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, Leeds got away to that start. They've been playing very well and had a lot of field position, I thought. So we did well to hang back in it, and luckily we got a try there towards the end.
The timing of that try could be crucial.
Yeah, it was vital. Could be a turning point in the game, like you say. So hope we can build on that second half and start getting a bit better field position.
Thanks, James. Yes. Kevin Sinfield, the Leeds skipper's with us as well. Kevin, is there one regret perhaps that you're not further in front?
We knew we were going to be tough here today against Saints. We got off to a good start, but we dropped off a bit that last 15-20 minutes, so we need to try and tighten that back up now in this second half.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
I think to say they got off to a good start is a little bit of an understatement from Kevin Sinfield. Yes, they are ahead on possession and they are ahead on territory. Just look at the difference in offloads, 17-10. But from a Saints perspective, at one stage, possession and territory, as far as Leeds were concerned, were in the high 70s, nearly touching the 80s. So Saints have got it back in the latter part of that first half, which I suppose, Paul Wellens, is the big comfort for Saints, is that they're not out of this.
Yeah, I think Kieran Cunningham in the dressing room was speaking about, it's only 12-4, and given the onslaught, and an onslaught it was at the start of that game that leads through St Helens, it's not a bad return.
No, we talked earlier before the game about how Leeds had thrashed Saints in Super League, 22-0, 28-6 at half-time they were then. They set off brilliantly again today.
Leeds have been absolutely fantastic, especially for the first 35 minutes at least, and they just put the pressure on early doors, really aggressive, working hard for each other, and they just looked a lot quicker, winning the ruck area, and they just looked like a team on form, and they were fantastic. I don't think the Saints handled them very well in the first 20 or so minutes, especially with the errors that they made as well. They made it really difficult for themselves.
When Earl says didn't handle them well, what does that mean?
Well, two things. Leeds were really, really quick at the ruck, which made it hard to set your defensive line and actually control the ball in there. I think after 25 minutes, Saints got up to speed, and then it was about their lack of control at Leeds' end of the field. But when Leeds are coming at you with Peacock offloading, we saw Cuthbertson offloading, we saw Ayton sniping it around the ruck and finding Joel Moon, who sniped across the line, making it far too fast at the ruck for the St Helens big fellas.
Paul?
Yeah, I totally agree with Brian. I do think from St Helens' point of view now is that they'll look at that half and they will say, we can get our opportunities, and opportunity will come. What we need to do first and foremost is get our defensive side of the game right and control the ball, and then the rest will follow.
Their offloads are remarkable, aren't they? Even though we talked about it beforehand.
Well, we knew it was coming. Now, we could all sit here. Saints knew it was coming. They find people in space to run. This is early in the game. Even Briscoe finds an offload. They're quite prepared to chance their aim, but they make good decisions in the main with it. And what it does, it sends them 30 metres further down the field. We know this fella. The challenge should be to tackle the ball on him first and foremost. But his one misplay ends up being 3 and 4 tackles for this Saints defence. That ends up being a fractured line. Luke Walsh jumps out of the line there, and the Leeds players into the space that he leaves behind. So it's easy to talk about, and St Helens will have talked about that. I thought towards the back end of the half, the last 15 minutes, they got up to speed with that. They were missing far too many one-on-one opportunities defensively, Saints, and enabling Leeds to get on the front foot.
Adam Cuthbert has broken a 12-year Super League record for offloads this season. He's on 104. It's double more than any other player in the game. 5 today. And Kieran Cunningham will be saying, what do you think, Paul, to the Saints players as regards the offloads?
Well, you've got to do better. I think first and foremost, with stopping offloads, people sometimes think you have to come up with some grand plan. It's about your tackle technique. Brian alluded to it then. It's about getting your contact, hitting over the ball, and if you do that and you stick to your processes, you'll have a better chance of stopping the offloads.
Sorry, depending on your point of view, the Zach Hardacre try is either brilliant or really frustrating, depending whether you're a Leeds or a Saints fan. I know the Saints fans behind us were frustrated at how their players couldn't get close to Leeds, Earl.
Yeah, I think the problem is sometimes when the team is offloaded, Cuthbertson makes the first offload there, and you draw numbers in, you draw tacklers in, so that means then you have to overchase out wide. But Saints do really well to get the line back, but then it's just a couple of people overchasing, sometimes working a little bit too hard, and it's great footwork by Zach Hardacre in the end. The start is Cuthbertson. He draws all the numbers in, and then all the team, the Saints team, are all sliding outwards towards what it looks like they're playing the wrong way of the field. But then they step back on the inside. I think Saints do really well after this to regroup the line, but after that it's just about a little bit of skill, a little bit of footwork, and I think Saints have been guilty a couple of times of just not working together defensively. People are trying to make decisions and trying to complete the tackle themselves without really working correctly.
Brian?
I just think towards the back end of that, I can only reinforce that. I think Saints got up to speed to it. We saw Mossy Massot jump on one of the offloads. When they stay up on the offload, it's important you keep facing up the field and work together with your particular part of the field and space. And there's a chance that you'll get some of the remnants of what Leeds might throw on the floor, because they got a bit carefree with it at one point, I thought so. And they ended up getting a bit of ball from that, did St Helens.
Take a look at the Joel Moon try next of all, Paul.
Well, it's typical Leeds. We spoke about the game, about your honesty test. It's Rob Burrow here just skirting across the field. He's looking for someone to come out the line. He finds it in Luke Walsh in a big hole to run through. And as Rob Burrow's done a lot of times in his career, he finds that gap. And Leeds are renowned for the support player. Callum Watkins joins in, and then he finds a great pass. St Helens have been drawn in, and Joel Moon is in acres of space, and the rest is just a formality for a player of his quality.
From the angle that we're at here, you might be able to see on this angle, I don't know, there was just a little grimace from Ryan Hall that the ball didn't come to him, which is obviously makes him out to be the ultimate try scorer that he is, Brian.
Yeah, he wants a freebie, doesn't he? Yeah. Give me the ball now, and I'm in at the corner. Look at him saying, oh, you're greedy, Joel, just because you can beat somebody one-on-one. But I think what epitomises, Rob Burrow's done that for 15 years. We talked at the top of the show about Sinfield, about Burrow, about Maguire, about Peacock being the DNA of this Leeds team. The big players show up and do that, and everybody throughout the years has said, well, we know that Rob Burrow's the zip man's going to scamper through any hole that you leave, and unfortunately, because the Saints' defence was a little bit tired and all at 6s and 7s, he managed to do that again.
You can see Ryan Hall there, sat next to Kevin Sinfield. I wonder whether he said anything when Joel Moon went over for that try, because Ryan has been wearing the player mic for us in that first half. Let's find out what he's been saying.
Left ball, are we ready? Outstanding, skip across there. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Keep this up. Keep finishing our set.
You can hear the frustration of a no as Percival went over for that try. We'll bring you an extended version of Ryan Hall wearing the player mic tomorrow during Warrington against Hull KR. And even when Ryan Hall is wearing the player mic, Jamie Peacock somehow is still the loudest person on that microphone. Let's look at the Percival try. Must be something about that corner. When we're here for the quarterfinals, Kevin Penny scored an unbelievable try in that corner. This is different, but still a sensational try.
Yeah, it is. It's the power of Alex Walmsley that creates the opportunity running through the middle, and as all good fullbacks should do. Adam Quinlan's in support, and he finds a very neat pass to Mark Percival, who finishes well in the corner.
It's a great run from Walmsley. He just changes the course of the game, and we showed that at the top of the show that the big fellas from St Helens are more direct with Quinlan and Roby, and they're half sniping around that. But this is fabulous skill from Quinlan, because 3 or 4 times there the Leeds defenders thought that he was going to kick it. Is he going to kick it? He's got it in 2 hands. It was actually a 4-on-2 defensively there, and 2 Saints players have come up with the goods.
But that's what they always say, isn't it? Great sportsmen, great sportswomen always look like they have time, even if they might not. And he looked like he had all the time in the world there.
I don't know if he was running in fear or something like that, because his footwork was unbelievable there. But he's a great fullback because he shows up in support all the time, always in the right position at the right time, as I said before, really, because he pops up and he sets those tries up. I mean, that is unbelievable play.
Still all to play for. It's 12-4 at half-time. The second half is on the way now. I'm guessing you are watching this tonight because you are a big rugby league fan. I would imagine that you're also a big sport fan. And the world of sport this week lost a true great.
It's hats off and a tremendous reception. You've never heard one like it at Liverpool. Red One wins the National. England's General racing into the closing.
Known as the voice of racing and blessed with vocal cords of velvet, Peter O'Sullivan provided the soundtrack to racing for 50 years.
Here comes Lester Piggott on Nijinsky. It's here on the far side. Lester Piggott on the near side on Nijinsky.
His knowledge of the sport was unsurpassable. The facts, the form and the finer details of horses, jockeys, trainers and owners, all described with seemingly no effort at all.
There's a tremendous cheer from the crowd as Desert Orchid is going to win it. Desert Orchid has won the Gold Cup. Yahoo is second. Third is Jara Party. Simon Sherwood punches the air. Desi has done it.
But to make it look that easy, you have to do your homework. With a background in journalism, Peter had worked for the Press Association and was then racing correspondent for the Daily Express. He knew a story when he saw it. And most importantly, he knew how to tell it with an economy of words to make the maximum impact.
As they race to the line, and the mare's beginning to get up, and as they come to the line, she's made it! Dawn Runner's won it! Dawn Runner's won it from Wayward Lad!
He was an owner in his own right and showed admirable restraint when his best horses triumphed.
First, number 3, Ativo, owned by Peter O'Sullivan, trained by Cyril Mitchell and ridden by Robert Hughes.
Peter O'Sullivan was part of the commentary architecture of BBC Sport. He could bring gravitas to an event simply by being there. The rhythm of his commentary changed slightly over the years, but the key ingredient was to make sure the viewer knew what was happening and why it was significant. Calm in the face of chaos.
And they're being told not to go out in the country, but they can't believe it. They're going on.
Consummate when documenting history.
It's hats off and a tremendous reception. You've never heard one like it at Liverpool. Red One wins the National.
He was the safest of safe hands. He commentated on 50 Grand Nationals, his last being Lord Gilleen's win in the delayed race of 1997.
It's Lord Gilleen carries the colours of Stanley Clark to victory.
By now he was 79, but maintained his clarity of thought and wonderful sense of occasion. Just before his retirement, he became the first sports commentator to be knighted. And as Sir Peter O'Sullivan, he set up a charitable trust that has raised over £4 million for 6 charities that reflect Peter's interest in animal welfare. Having been very ill as a child, Peter thought it long odds that he would make it past 50. Always a keen punter, he beat the bookies on that score, running his race to the age of 97.
Stanley Clark to victory. Lord Gillene is the winner of the 1997 National.
The voice of racing has finished broadcasting, but in our memories he will never be silent, incomparable and irreplaceable.
Claire Balding talking us through the life of Sir Peter O'Sullivan, the best of the best. Friday night Rugby League on BBC Two. We're at the semi-final stage of the Challenge Cup. We've had a blistering first half. We hope for more of the same in the second. Leeds 12-4 up on St Helens. Will that man, Kevin Sinfield, be going to Wembley to try and retain the Challenge Cup? You can find out now with John Keir, Jonathan Davis and Dave Woods.
1910, the first time these two sides met. It's not a scoreline, it's a date. 105 years ago when they first met in the Challenge Cup. They've met 19 times since. Leeds edge it 10-9 in terms of victories. 7 of those have been semi-finals, and some really memorable games between these two. And this might yet prove to be another, because that try for Mark Percival just before the break really sets up this cup tie. 12 points to 4. Leeds started at 100 miles an hour in the first half. It's up to St Helens to reciprocate in the second.
Yeah, two great sides, you know, great tradition in this cup. But I do feel that Saints have got to stop Leeds having the same start as they did in the first half. I think the first 20 minutes are going to be very, very crucial. Momentum has switched to Saints with that try just before half-time. I think John next door to me fancies Saints at the moment now. So, but I think the first 20 minutes is crucial for Saints then to just pick the game and control the game.
Injury there for Savelio. He's going to wear it as best he can. St Helens towards the halfway line on the 5th tackle, so the next will be the last. Walsh looking for a good kick betwixt and between Hall and Hardacre. It bounces, so Hardacre has to pick up and carry it, and St Helens are up there. So John Keir, what are your thoughts at the start of this second half?
Well, that was a safe say, wasn't it? But I'm certain that St Helens will have been buoyed by that try just before half-time. That will have lifted them, but also it may well have put the seeds of doubt into one or two of these Rhinos. But here goes Moon.
Great pass from Briscoe. And Moon on his travels, no doubt. In Briscoe's mind, there. Good skills. Cuthbertson. Cross the line. Sinfield. Delaney. Here's Watkins. Real athletic play.
He is on fire this season. Watkins, what the player he is.
Peacock. Slamming it forward.
I mean, good yardage by the Leeds forwards and backs. The break, the pass by Moon, attacking position.
Here's Cuthbertson again with those magic hands, trying to make things happen, and I think Leeds are going to go down with the ball in hand on the 6th tackle. So St Helens get the handover, but look again how close they are to their own line.
Yeah, I think the difference in the kicking game is vast at the moment. The quality of the Leeds kicking game, whether it's Burrow, Sinfield, Hardacre, they hit the grass and they put distance on it. Luke Shaw's got to try and improve his kicking game.
Claim there for a knock-on against Walmsley from Ablett, but the touch judge on this near side not forgiving it. Josh Jones will carry it forward for St Helens.
Hold the line, boys. Hold it. Go, please.
Walsh, Savelio.
I think one difference as well with Leeds, when they carry the ball and they have runners looking for the offload, Saints are slightly one up. Another great run by Walmsley.
It's on the 5th again, though. So here comes a St Helens kick from inside their own half. Walsh has a look. The back three of Leeds are in position. So Walsh's kick has to be good. Can't find the ground. Only finds the arms of Hardacre.
But I know Jiffy's getting a little frustrated with St Helens keep kicking the ball to the back three of Leeds, but you've got the positional play of Hardacre, Briscoe and Hall is absolutely first class, and it's making it real difficult for Wolves to find any grass. It might be better just putting it out of play.
Yeah, I agree, but also, why can't he put it through the centre hands and pull the winger up? Then they can't drop back as early.
Here's Jones Buchanan. A couple of tackles left here for Leeds as they roll it forward. Burrow. This is Peacock. You know what he's going to do? He's going to run it in as hard as he can. 6 coming up. So it's taken on by Sinfield. Little grubber kick by him. Quinlan's across there, but Turner beats him to it anyway, the St Helens centre, and he's really good carry forward again and makes it up to the 15-metre mark. Right, what was said at half-time in the dressing rooms then? We saw the pictures. What about the words? Damien Johnson's got news on the touchline.
Well, the St Helens coach Kieran Cunningham said we've got to stay with them, got to challenge around the ruck. In the first 30 minutes, we let them run at us. We need to build pressure and take the game to Leeds. As for the Leeds Rhinos side, it was a good start, said McDermott, the coach. The game dropped off towards the end of the half. Saints always come back, we know that. And we have to start the second half well. That's the key.
Walsh, cross to Jones. Little dummy by him. Watkins trying to hang on, and Burrow's there as well. And a great offload by Jones has helped St Helens through the big shape of Jordan Turner grab another 10 metres before this kick on the 6th tackle, and they're a lot deeper now. High kick, Hardacre underneath it, solidly underneath it. Jonathan Davis is going to fall off the gantry in frustration if St Helens don't improve this kicking game soon.
Yeah, I think the kicking game, you know, they've got to compete for it. It's an easy out for Leeds, easy catch for Hardacre. They need to compete for the ball. The kicking has to improve on the last tackle.
Televey, I believe, just leaving the field there with an injury.
Mark Flanagan's come on. In the meantime, Ryan Hall is making giant strides towards the halfway line before he's tackled. There you see, Bayers doesn't look too well, does he? And now Callum Watkins, who looks just fine. Rolling through, back to Burrow. Here comes Peacock. Peacock puts the foot down. Jamie Peacock! Oh my word! Where did that come from? Jamie Peacock doesn't score tries like that, does he? Well, he might not have done because they're asking for the video replay. I think he wants to see video evidence, but that was Jamie Peacock.
It's a great step, it's a great finish, but support play at its best. Let's see what let's see what he says. Is he only want the ground in? No, I think he scored that try, didn't he?
Let's hear from the video referee.
No, no matter. Yeah.
Possession. Still in possession. Still on the ball. Looks like a try to me.
Not just any old try. What a try from Jamie Peacock. And Leeds in the ascendancy again, leading by 16 points to 4.
Well, that's the try of the ultimate warrior, isn't it? Yeah. What a fantastic try. That's the man who wants to go back to Wembley in his last season as a player. The determination shown was absolutely first class. And I still can't believe what he's doing, supporting up the middle. But it was this great athlete, Callum Watkins, who made the bust. And then lovely ball from Burrow. And what's he doing? He shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't Jamie Peacock? But he says, I want to go to Wembley, and the best way to do it is by getting 6 points. Tremendous.
Jason Robinson-esque, isn't he, then?
You need 5 to pick him up, though, didn't he?
What a step, what a step. But again, it comes from a poor kick to finish a Saint set. Hardacre gets the ball. It's an easy couple of yards for him. He's on the front foot, and then it's a break for Callum Watkins.
Well, Leeds showing what they've got with this moment.
It's tremendous, isn't he, Watkins? It really is. He's the best centre in this competition. Yeah. It really is, and he's opened up the gap there. And there's not only Peacock there, there's Cuthbertson, his mates as well. It's like a prop forward fest. Tremendous.
Well, there'll be some tall tales told about that try down the years, won't there? But if Leeds have showed us what they've got, what have you got now, St Helens? How does St Helens respond here? Because they have to respond with a Wembley dream that's just beginning to slip away. 14 points is not insurmountable. St Helens know there's a way back into this game. The question is, have they got the will, and can they stop the way Leeds are playing at the moment? That's Jones Buchanan. Cuthbertson.
Well, they've started both halves, haven't they, Leeds? Absolutely sensational form. And, you know, there's Maguire, there's Burrow, there's Sinfield. They just orchestrate the game so well. And then the Warriors in the middle and the thoroughbreds on the flanks. It's just a complete team.
The variety of the kicking game makes a big difference as well.
Come on, lads. Go.
32 minutes for St Helens to rescue their dream. 32 minutes for Leeds to plough what is a familiar course for them. Back to Wembley Stadium, won it last year.
Wait, boys. Go.
Been there so many times in recent years. Cervello.
3, move, Jamie!
Now Roby. Support from Walmsley. His run made such a difference in the first half, and here he goes again. Wreaking havoc. Getting the ball away. There's a way now for Jones to run through. Josh Jones. Well, Quinlan was there in support. Jones couldn't find the impossible pass, but St Helens have a chance here. It's a brilliant ball from Burns that has gone to ground and is picked up now by Hardacre. Maguire knocks it on. And even from 60 yards out, you'd have to say, lying at his mercy.
They're still playing, Dave. Still on this play.
Time off.
Referee eventually is going to stop it.
What a great passage of play that was, wasn't it?
Pass back inside, safe back, not the ball on.
We had the offload from Walmsley, and then it ended with that real good pass from Burns, but Burrow was just like a Yorkshire Terrier then, wasn't he? He was just snapping away at his heels, forced the error, and it looked as if he could have released Maguire. That may well have been the game. But he spilled the ball with just fresh air in front of him.
I think it's a match-saving tackle. I think it was Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook who made the tackle, and then he just couldn't gather it. But that's how dangerous Leeds are.
On the 20.
Being under pressure.
On the 20.
You think they're going to score. Tremendous start again, once again by Leeds.
Okay, where there, back in. Jones.
And back to St Helens possession here.
Back on, 0 tackle.
0 tackle.
1.
From the knock-on.
Ready, hold it, Jamie.
Roby. St Helens still hanging on.
Okay.
Here's Jones. Jones. He's had an impact, hasn't he? He's looked decent.
2. Move, Jamie, back here, boys. Pal. Ready.
Roby.
Go.
It's Walsh.
All right.
Walmsley. He's continuing his good efforts, as is Cervello.
3, move!
Good play.
And a penalty for St Helens. Too much involvement after the tackle was completed. And it means they have a chance to set up another set of 6 here, 20 yards away from this Leeds line.
Go.
And here they go. First drive in by Walmsley.
Move, Jamie!
He's contributed really well, hasn't he, throughout the game.
Go.
Roby spins away to Walsh inside for Cervello. They're waiting for it. Cervello looking pleadingly around.
Move, man!
But he never had a chance to offload anyway.
They control the tackle area and the speed of tackle, because we haven't seen much of Roby yet.
Roby away to Walsh. Walsh spins it away now, and Burns comes tracking back on the inside, and here comes Walsh again, and now Walmsley. And Walmsley to this left-hand side in Jones, and Jones puts the kick towards the try line, and back goes Briscoe to tap it out of play and concede to drop out underneath the sticks. It'll be another wave of St Helens attack coming next.
Keep the pressure on, repeat set.
Yeah, he read the play really well, didn't he, Jones, there? He saw Briscoe and Burrow had both come up to try and cut the play off, and he just dabbed the ball behind them. Early tackle, early in the set of 6, he kicked that ball, but he's got a good outcome with the repeat set.
Great skies over Warrington tonight, aren't there?
Stand, guys!
Not that he's worried about what's happening overhead, he's worried about what's happening on the pitch at the moment, Kieran Cunningham. But has his side got a sniff of an opportunity here?
Okay.
Walmsley again.
1. Move, Jamie! Wait here, lads, wait, Carl, wait! Go.
Roby. This is Flanagan.
2. Move, Jamie!
Well, they're controlling the rookie area pretty well, those early tackles, Leeds.
Play on.
Cervello. That's a really good, rumbustious rolling effort from Cervello, and he's still not tackled. Eventually he is. But boy, did that take some hard work from the Leeds defenders to eventually put him down. Roby spins away to Walsh. Here comes Jones in close proximity. That Leeds line moves up. But they're on their own line now. Walsh. Flanagan in hard.
That's 5. Still got the ball.
Roby, 6 tackle coming up. Roby looks left. Looks for the little grubber kick. Bounces fortuitous. This is Savelio, who I think is just short.
I thought might be a double movement there.
Well, the referee didn't have the greatest of views there because there were so many bodies in the way. But from all he's given up, he thinks it's a try. Now, just to explain, he thinks it's a try. So we go to the video referee now. They have to find conclusively that it was not scored. Otherwise, it is a try. So let's hear from the video referees. Robert Hickson, James Charlie.
Okay, so we're going to start from the play the ball, run it through, all the way through. We're looking for a double movement. Is there anything else in the build-up? Kick by Roby. Comes off Leeds. So we're playing on from here. That looks short. Okay. Yeah. So short initially. Just keep it running. Does it end up on the line? That appears to be on the line. His hand's still in contact. So if we can have a look at it, we'll have a look at this angle and then we'll go full speed. So it's still in contact here, short, and then it's on the line. So we can have a look in full speed now. Does he promote the ball, or does his momentum get the ball on the line? Okay, let's have another look at this. This side ankle here at full speed. This one, yeah. We can watch this one in full speed. That will help us. We know it's on the line. What we're just going to judge is whether it's momentum or a second movement. Yeah, we're happy with that. That's a try.
It's a massive moment in a massive game. Savelio's try is given. St Helens have switched the cup tie back on again. And just to explain, the goal line, the white line, belongs to the attacking team, so all he has to do is touch it. And they decided it wasn't a double movement. And if there was any element of doubt, the fact that the referee had said he thought it was a try meant it counted in favour of the attacking team.
That's a great effort, mate. Bit fortuitous with a kick when he regathered it, but definitely made the most of it. And it's building pressure. That's what John said. Building pressure, getting the repeat sets, running at a tired defence.
Luke Walsh to bring the scoreline back to 18 points to 10. St Helens are still 2 scores behind, but now they'll feel like they're in touching distance. Robbie Hunter-Paul, how excited are you down on the touchline?
Well, just looking at the players themselves, the Leeds players are talking about it. They know they're going to need more than 18 points to close out this game. St Helens are not going to give up.
Yeah, and that lifeline there for Kieran Cunningham's side. It came a little fortuitously with the ricochet from the dummy half kick from Roby. Took full advantage of it, and once again, game on.
Well, if anybody knows about St Helens comebacks,
ready, boys, wait.
It is Robbie Hunter-Paul, Lansdowne Trophy winner in 1996 when St Helens launched the biggest ever comeback to down his Bradford team. Here comes Walmsley driving through. Damien Johnson, what news on the touchline?
Well, if St Helens are to get back into this game, they're going to have to do it without the services of Atelier Veya. The big Tongan is out of the game. He's got knee ligament damage, and the doctor says his game is over.
Hold it here, boys, wait here.
It's a big blow. It's a big blow for St Helens, but they will not be worried about that just at the moment.
So he's playing well as well, isn't he? Savelio, he is charging at the Leeds defence.
Luke Walsh with a kick. Hardacre catches on the full and runs it back towards that 30-metre line. Claims for a penalty for a flop. Second man in, but the referee's having none of that.
Well, St Helens need a really big defensive set now to keep the pressure on the Rhinos. That play the ball was too quick there.
There's Jimmy Kinehorst. Oh, it's a knock-on. It's a knock-on. Robbie Burrow, frustration. St Helens, inspiration.
Yeah, a few. errors creeping into the game. Oh, did you catch it?
No, they'll be disappointed there because both Kevin Sinfield and Rob Burrow have made errors, basic errors at dummy half. And they can cost you just as a ricocheted kick can get the opposition in the game. A little knock on, an unforced error can give them an even better lift up.
It's boiling up nicely here, isn't it now?
Oh, it's been a great game, hasn't it? It's been a great occasion, no doubt about that. And I think the best is yet to come.
Let's give the focus, guys. It's good. Alex, good work on the 10. 7 on Andre. It's good.
Yeah, as the clock runs down, everything will tighten up.
Good boy.
There's the despair, the loneliness of the injured player in a cup semi-final. Etellier knows his night is over. But his thoughts and prayers, I'm sure, with those who are left on the field, hoping that his side can see themselves through.
Okay, lads, let's go. When we're ready, just wait there, please.
This is the moment. Oh, it doesn't look good, that, does it?
Get that out now.
He was one of their danger runners.
Back on. Shoulder. One. Move, Jamie!
Roby in at dummy half, 40 metres away. St Helens looking to roll on again. Walmsley pushing it forward. What a powerful influence he's been. Roby again. Walsh to Burns, inside to Quinlan. Ablett was waiting.
Great play, Ablett.
Roby. Walsh going to take them on with his footwork. Jamie Jones-Buchanan is not for being beaten. 15 metres away. Couple of tackles to go. Walmsley again, second effort in the set. Hands are quick, might have been forward. Referee says play on.
5.
Last tackle.
Come on, wait a minute.
McCarthy Scarsborough quickly to his feet. 6 tackle, Roby goes down that blind side. Savelio with a short pass. Did it again. It's Percival again. St Helens right back in it now. Try given, 18-14 with a kick to come.
I tell you what, it's fantastic use of the short side. The short pass, no miss passes, not needed, hit the hole. Try time Saints.
Well, Leeds got their numbering off wrong there. They really did. They need another man on the short side. He went to the big side, and Roby spotted that, and they played the short side play. See there, Kainos, it was retreating, went the wrong way, and then it was just 3v2. He engaged the defender beautifully, Roby, and Savelio did the same, and that opened up the gap for Percival for a tremendous try. And that has opened the game up completely.
It's all about taking the ball to the line. No miss passes, hitting the hole, delaying the pass and changing your angle. Brilliant play by St Helens on the short side. Tremendous use of the short side.
Yeah, and it all came from that header, didn't it?
Yep.
All from that header.
Well, their lungs were running out of oxygen in the first half, but their hearts are full of hope now. Leeds still lead. Leeds still slight favourites, but St Helens are charging back now. Second of the night for Percival. Listen to the noise from the Saints fans. Luke Walsh has to put all the noise out of his head. It's as tough as they come, this kick, right on the touchline.
No one expects him to kick it.
Here he comes. And he's got the oomph, but not the accuracy. Wide it goes. So 18 points to 14. But Mark Percival, a 2-try hero. And it's a cup tie that's far from settled.
It's a great cup tie, isn't it? That's lovely composure. That's great skill. It looks so simple, but it actually is so difficult to take the ball so near the line and engage the defender. And well taken by Dawson.
And it's all about, you know, the pass, the two passes which hold the defenders honest. They keep the defenders honest.
Two moves right. Line here, lads. Hold it. Hold. Where did Jamie go?
Damien Johnson. Down on the sideline, Damien.
Interesting, when that score was awarded, the club doctor donned the blue bib, normally given to the water carrier, and ordered the St Helens players back to the halfway line, supervised the rehydration routine, and just gave them a G-up for a final assault on the Leeds line, hopefully.
Hold it here, Brett. Wait, Jay. Go.
Roby. Walsh.
Five, move, Jamie!
There's an extra energy in those limbs now, isn't there? Flanagan gets up quickly, and on the sixth tackle, Walsh will put the kick high and downfield. McCarthy Scarsbrook is leading the chase. Who's going to claim this? There was no Leeds player anywhere near it. Oh, Quinlan kicks away, straight into the hands of Joel Boone.
That was a chance. That was a chance. I think he just sliced the kick a little bit.
Well, Hall and Hardacre looking at each other then, I think. There was a real miscommunication.
Yeah, no call.
It was a tremendous chase, wasn't it, that gave him that opportunity, but Joel Mullen certainly looking better than the Australian cricketers there in the slips.
No, it's noisy. Peacock. John Keir getting high fives all round at his mention of Australian cricket. Well done, John. Here comes Maguire.
Five, move, Josh! Ready, go.
Kevin Sinfield on the sixth tackle will kick downfield. Swift underneath it.
Feel the play on.
Safely patched. Leeds' line is up and waiting, led by Burrow and Abler. But Swift's beaten them both. Springs away. And that's 12 yards gained and earned by super wing play.
That's good play, Swift.
Well, look at this. It's a different game.
Yeah,
a different game.
It's Leeds now who are missing the tackles. Here he is. Here he goes. This guy. If they start getting tired, switching off, Roby.
9 apiece now, the missed tackles, and also the possession and territory, I'm certain, must have evened up over the course of this game.
Mossy Massot knows only one way, and that's forward. But he has to take the ball with him, and he hasn't. Leeds.
Mistake.
By the way, did you... as we see that replay, did you see the story today that one Leeds fan has wagered £20,000 on Leeds winning this game? How nervous is he feeling at the moment?
Very. But that was great work, wasn't it, from Peacock there? We mentioned him about scoring the try. He's forced the headers there as well. They need a good set to the Rhinos.
It's the Leeds fans finding their voice now to try and urge their side on, and Callum Watkins is up to the halfway line. An hour played, 20 minutes to go.
Move, Josh! Ready, Mark, don't go early. Go.
Burrow. Cuthbertson. Peacock.
Turn, try to spin, wrapped him up.
James, don't go early, ready, Andre. Let go.
Burrow. Sinfield to Maguire to Jones Buchanan.
Sinfield has smashed that as well. An offload again.
Ryan Hall's coming rampaging forward, and this now is Hardacre across to Ablett, and Callum Watkins can make things happen. Briscoe catches a ball that went forward.
Yeah, that's a good. I tell you what, that's a great. Jordan Turner read that exceptionally well. He looked dangerous for St Helens defensively, but Jordan Turner spotted the danger and came in on Callum Watkins. He didn't expect it.
I think it was the touches there, wasn't it? Anthony Martin who
he's backing off and steps in, didn't he? He rushes. He makes Callum Watkins make the decision earlier than what he thought. He tucked the ball under his arm. He spotted that Turner, rushed him, spilt the ball.
Wait there, guys, come on! Out!
Savellia.
Come on, move Adam! Mark the square, boys! Wait!
Here's Roby.
Go!
You're enjoying this. You'll enjoy tomorrow as well. Warrington against Hulkinson Rovers live. We're on air at 12:15.
That's going to be one hell of a game because those two sides can score points.
That's Mossy Massot, who's carried it supremely well. Roby bends his back and looks to his right, where Flanagan's coming charging forward. Leeds his turn to hang on. Roby with a kick out from dummy half. It's not a 40-20, but it's still a very good kick. Hall has to go back, collects with a juggle, and then can't do anything but try and run at that St Helens defence because it got up so quickly.
And that might be the solution to St Helens kicking game. Kick out a dummy half. Kick earlier, kick on a quick play, kick out a dummy half. Really turned Ryan Hall and the Leeds back three round there.
Here's Watkins again. Oh, it's gone backwards from the St Helens hand and reconnected by Leeds to another set of 6.
But it's what Brian Noble said half-time. You know they're going to offload. If you push up, you can pick up the scrap sometimes. That's the high risk that Leeds play, especially in their own 20-metre area.
Cuthbertson.
But they won't change. Great hit.
Big hit by the shoulder of Musso. Mossy Musso, of course, announced his English career on this ground, didn't he, when he was playing for Samoa against New Zealand in the World Cup a couple of years ago.
He's come off second best, though. Musso, he is down.
Ablett running it away. 5 gone. Here comes the 6th. Left to Maguire. Maguire puts it high. Sensing that Dawson was alone, but he might have been alone, but he's still a good catch of the ball.
Yeah, good take.
It was a very good take there. Mossy Musso, he gets a thumbs up from the physio. I think that's get back behind the ball, fella, and start carrying it.
Yeah, quick, get up.
Penalty. Ball stolen. Well, Mossy's got a bit of blood running out of his nose. I think if the referee spots that, he's going to blood in him, isn't he?
Just gets his head in the wrong position, goes in for the hit, lines him up, and just cops one on the
snozzle.
On the head, yeah. Yes. You know, and that's what, no matter how big you are, kids, get your head in the right position when you tackle and you'll be fine.
Discipline, boys! Go.
Head in the right position is somewhere in the stands, isn't it? If you've got any common sense.
Move, Jamie! Come on, Jamie!
You've got to follow your dream, Woodsy. You've got to follow your dream.
St Helens bringing it forward.
What a fantastic game this has been.
Great atmosphere as well now. It's a supercharged night in Warrington. Here comes Flanagan.
He's had an impact into the game, hasn't he, the last few minutes?
His dad could play a bit as well, couldn't he, Terry?
Yep.
Percival on a hat-trick. Percival!
Ball, move! Play ball.
Could play the ball, short side.
Here comes Roby. Roby with a little chip haul. Oh, it's gone out on the full. And there's a Leeds player down injured now.
Yeah, almost caught them again on the short side, didn't they, there? But it went out, and Leeds will be relieved for this little stoppage in play. They really will. It's been a total turnaround, hasn't it? And all credit to St Helens for hanging in there, them coming back so strongly. And this fella's had a fantastic game, Percival. And
that was a weird kind of
injury, yes.
Injury, that was, yeah.
Well, he's okay. He's going to feed the scrum. They build him tough. This is Hall.
Move, Mossy! Ready, Mark. Hold it, lads. Wait, lads. Go.
Ablett. It's been reminded that back in the day when we had Floodlit Rugby League on BBC Two, David Attenborough was the man responsible for getting Rugby League on BBC Two in the evenings. I don't know whose decision it was this time around, but it was a good one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's when I started. That's my first game. Sorry, my first game. Tuesday night.
Maguire. This is Joel Moon.
4, surrendered.
There's lots of Rugby League left in this, you know.
15 minutes to go as Jamie Jones-Buchanan takes it forward. Remember, we could have golden point extra time if it's all square after 80 minutes. We have to find a winner here tonight. Sinfield puts it high. That's a good kick from Sinfield. And Quinlan, well, he took it, he caught it, but it was nothing he could do about what was coming at him. The Animals were hunting him down.
I think that is the one big difference so far in this game, is the quality, as I've said before, of the Leeds kicking game. The variety, because they have several kickers that do it. They're not under pressure when they kick, and the hang time, it makes it difficult for the Saints players to take the ball back.
Great quality, wasn't it, from Sinfield, and that's earned them the repeat set. The volume's ramped up, the atmosphere ramped up. Tremendous.
But it's a real chance for Leeds. Oh, the drop is awkward, but Sinfield just about gets a hold of it.
You know, it comes up with some massive players, Kevin Sinfield, that don't really go unnoticed. Because that was so important to claim that ball.
Peacock with the drive. 4 tackles to go. Burrow. This is Delaney. Burrow. He's going to come to the right-hand side, you'd think, because that's where the majority of his team are. Here it comes. Cuthbertson with a little soft-handed pass on the inside. Leeds are probing. This is Peacock.
Looking for the offload.
5 tackles gone, last
slow
tackle in this
motion.
set. Burrow stands and waits, delivers the pass, back to Maguire. Here it comes right, here's Watkins! Callum Watkins!
That's a brilliant finish.
Well, they do say in Leeds that Superman wears Callum Watkins' pyjamas to bed. And there's another little reason why he's held in such high esteem. A try that puts Leeds back in the driving seat.
Fantastic, wasn't it? And it all came about from that repeat set on the back of a tremendous kick chase. Quinlan there receiving the ball. Hardacre with the chase, puts him into the in-goal, repeat set, then execute your skills. And if anybody wants to time a run and hide when you're running so the defenders can't read you, that's how to do it from Watkins. He stood behind Sinfield and he just comes off his hip and over it goes for a tremendous try. Sinfield with the kick, Sinfield delivers the last assist with a beautiful pass, but what a finish from that athlete, Callum Watkins.
You got to give the ball to your dangerous runners. They put him on a 1-to-1 and he does the rest. He's a tremendous player, this kid. Now he's got the world at his feet.
Focus, you two, come on.
One Callum Watkins is the chant from the Leeds supporters. It's a good job there is only one Callum Watkins. Two would take some stopping, wouldn't they? Kevin Sinfield is a picture of concentration.
Yes.
He just flicks the ball over the sticks, between the sticks rather, 24 points to 14. It's a 2-score lead that Leeds have again, but time enough for Saints to respond.
Wasn't it beautiful, this? Just hid behind Sinfield, came at the last minute, and it's just footwork and evasive skills. It's a delight to watch, Jiffy, a delight to watch.
It's a balance, the way he's such a balanced runner. He saw the gap, he saw that they were coming across late, and he just, just glided inside her.
Restart straight into the hands of Ryan Hall.
Ready, guys, wait here, wait, go.
Now Briscoe. It's a decent carry by your two wingers, isn't it?
Yeah.
And a good offload by the winger as well, and here comes Maguire. Fully recovered from that earlier blow.
Moss ready, don't go early.
Only 2 tackles gone. Leeds already towards the 40-metre mark. Jones Buchanan will try and edge them over that particular point on the field. Burrow. This is Garbutt.
4, movement! Wait here, lads, wait here! Go.
Burrow. Dancing and dodging and weaving, and such a difficult customer at this stage of a game. Difficult enough at any stage of a game, but especially when limbs and minds are tiring, as they inevitably are. High kick, Quinlan underneath it. Again, he's caught it well enough, but look at the chase from Hardacre.
Yeah, and that's the difference, they just can't respond and make yardage because the kicking game is better. You just need the kicks to be a little bit higher, close them down.
Ready, guys, hold.
There's one thing about Leeds, they know how to close out games. They really do. The bigger the game, the better the play.
Roby, Jones. He's thoughtful, but I'm sure all the thoughts are positive at the moment about the way his side are going. Oh, Walsh spins it away, good hands, well taken by Percival, and he desperately tries to keep it alive. The referee says play on here, and here's Quinlan. Quinlan throws it back. The ball's, where is it? Where is it? Well, the referee stops it.
He'll go right back, but I believe Percival knocked on. I think he lost control of the ball in forward direction. There's a tackle here on Moon, and he's dropped the ball forward.
I think it was forced out by Moon.
No, he's the responsibility to carry that ball as Percival.
Just watch it.
Moon's just making the tackle.
Yeah, I think it's play on. I think it's play on.
No, it's knock on.
He's knocked it down, though. He's knocked it down.
It's knock on by Percival. Believe you me.
Well, we have to believe you because that's what the referee's given.
Well, I still don't think it's the right decision, but there's only one man who's right.
Him. Ben Thaler.
Checked it, boys. And you start it. Hand over. Right there.
Or the video referee.
Can he wait?
So Leeds back in possession, 10 minutes left to play, 2 scores. It ain't a lost cause.
Just one.
Just yet for St
Come on,
Helens.
Louis. Must win here.
No,
They have to keep their belief.
They need one of those special St Helens comebacks down there that goes right down to the wire.
Yeah.
2. Move.
Well, we've
Back
seen
in,
it
Josh.
often enough
Hold
down the
it,
years,
boys.
haven't we?
Wait. Go.
They've got the ability to score from anywhere, Saints. Oh,
Jones
great.
Buchanan is hit by a missile.
Great hit.
The shoulder of Travis Burns. What?
Wait, lads, wait it. Wait,
He
don't
felt
go
that.
early.
He's had trouble with his hamstrings recently. And Jones Buchanan, I think he's got trouble with everything at the moment.
I think that last thing on his mind after that hit.
Come on, lads, win it.
Tremendous, wasn't it? Yeah.
Great hit.
Find
Garber.
away, Louis. Nothing daft, Moss, get it.
Sinfield, another punishing kick. Another kick that needs to be dealt with.
Play on. It's a knock
Percival's
on.
knocked on.
Zero.
You can hear the referee say
Zero.
knock on, so Leeds have another set of 6 here. 0 tackle, that one, so the set starts from now.
Well, they've persisted with that tactic of kicking towards Dawson's wing, haven't they? An aggressive chase, it's certainly paid off.
They have to do it with only 12 men at the moment because Jones Buchanan is down injured. In back play.
Ready, Kyle. Kyle, wait. Wait.
Getting some treatment, but Leeds carry
Louis
on here.
offside.
Peacock wants another sniff of the try line. Got there once, why not a second time?
What?
Referee's going to stop the clock because he has seen
Tackle 2.
that
James,
there
put the ball
is a
down.
little bit of a crowd of medical staff now around Jamie Jones Buchanan.
Yeah, put the ball down, mate. Tackle 2.
So he's not interfering with play at the moment, but
Don't go early, pal.
no, but for St Helens, they've got to stop this because
it's the right thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he injured his leg. I don't think because the shot was, you know, upper body on the shoulder. I think he might have twisted something as he got with the ferocity of the hit. But you know, as in more sports now, medical staff is fantastic. Just hope that you know, Jamie Jones Buchanan is okay.
well, there's going to be a delay here. Brian McDermott looking anxiously on from the touchline. Jamie Jones Buchanan is being treated here as a result of this.
Yeah, he grabbed left knee straight away, loses it, just watch, he's gone.
But it was a ferocious contact, wasn't it? Really was, and it's not good to see a player in such trouble. But as you've stated, Dave, the medical staff are out there.
Well, he was... we were chatting with him last week, Jamie Jones Buchanan, about his hamstring problems, and he said one of the reasons he keeps getting a hamstring problem is because of age. But this might be something completely different here with that knee. Talking about age, by the way, do you remember, Jonathan Davis, that try you scored at Wembley for Great Britain against Australia?
1994, wasn't it?
When you ran on the outside of a certain Brett Mullins?
I know, you're just going to make me feel old,
Well,
now, Dave. Don't try. I know. Go on, tell me what.
Brett Mullins' son made his debut for the Sydney Roosters under-20s earlier today. So
There we are.
Could you go round him as well, Jiffy?
Not now, no. Not with dodgy hips and dodgy knees. I could never run around him.
well, Leeds fans in decent heart at the moment. One of their star men is suffering a little, Jamie Jones Buchanan. It's his 34th birthday as well today, Jamie Jones. So not many happy returns from a personal point of view just at the moment. But personal pain to one side, he'll be happy for his teammates with what they're doing.
He's a tough man, is Jamie Jones Buchanan, he really is. And it is also very important to this Leeds team, you know. You see, there's a lot of the unnoticed work that his teammates really do appreciate.
Reminder of tomorrow, that Challenge Cup tie, the other semi-final. At the moment, it's looking like who will be joining Leeds at the final, unless St Helens can mount a comeback in the 8 minutes that remain here. Who does this break favour the most at this stage? Does it give a chance for St Helens to regroup, or...?
Well, you just got to keep your concentration. If you look at field position, it favours Leeds because they can organise now an attack. They've got plenty of time to organise an attack.
It's always a challenge, though, to both teams. When there's been a break like this, it's so easy for some individual to switch off and be exploited. But I'm certain that the Rhinos will know what their next play is.
Well, if you look at the score and the clock and the field position, you'd have to say it favours Leeds.
Jamie Peacock's just daydreaming about that try he scored.
And again, Callum Walker's involved.
Yeah, he was involved there, making with initial bust, and Burrow, a peach of a pass, but...
What's the step? Watch the step. There he goes.
Yeah,
oh.
There he is.
80 yard of that, I reckon.
Yeah, Jason Robinson.
Yeah.
Go on, son. And again...
And this is the bit of luck that Saints got. Well finished, by the way, by Cervello. Showed great determination, but they got that bit of luck off the ricochet.
Great finish.
And then this is stripping out the short side really well. Just a 3v2 situation executed to perfection. Again by Cervello for Percival to score. Before we come with that peach of a try, probably the match-winning try from Callum Watkins off the hip of Kevin Sinfield.
Robbie Hunter-Paul is stalking the touchline as he has all night, not far away from Ronnie the Rhino. Robbie, you're just as cuddly. What are you thinking about this game?
Oh, thank you very much, Dave. I'm not sure. I'm a little more cuddlier than now than when I was playing, because I put on a couple of pounds. But other than that, fantastic game overall. But St Helens will get the opportunity to get back into this game. It always comes out that way, that the team will get the opportunity. What they first have to do is to make sure that they can hold Leeds out in this set. If Leeds get another point on the board, I think that will be the game.
Well, warm applause all around the ground as Jamie Jones Buchanan is carried away. He is one of the most popular players in the game, isn't he?
Back on,
but here we go. 8 minutes to go. St Helens in the first instance here have to hold out in this set.
And wait this time. Wait.
If Leeds score again, that is game over. Peacock. No value in a drop goal here. Plenty of value in the try. Burrow. Sinfield, little dummy in the kick, and it's straight into the hands of Quinlan. What have you made of his performance tonight?
Quinlan, very good indeed. He really has. I think he's been very tidy defensively, and he's been a threat supporting the ball carry, but also when he's had the ball in his hands as well.
Yeah.
So many St Helens players have held that position this season. But injuries have meant that they eventually had to sign Quinlan from overseas. So, St Helens, 7 minutes to go. Burns spins it away. Walsh on the inside. Here comes Quinlan. It looks high. The referee points to his shoulder and says, that's not a problem. St Helens are going to have to throw the ball about here. They're going to have to take risks. Turner with a little kick over the top. Flanagan's there to take it. He spins it back. Burrow watches it out of play. Just happy to see that ball bounce over the line, because he knows that Leeds get it back again, and time continues to tick away.
That's experience, isn't it? The rush of blood play would have been to try to claim the ball and do the glory play 60 metres, but Rob Burrow saying time's as important as points at the minute, so we'll let it go over the sideline, then we'll bring it back into play in a controlled manner.
Hold it, boys, ready, last one. Wait!
Leeds supporters rather taunting St Helens now with when the Leeds go marching it. It is of course a St Helens club song, but Leeds have taken it over for the time being. Here's Hardacre brushing away the first attempted tackle, and Jones isn't able to hang on. Oh yes, he is. The referee says the tackle was complete, so Hardacre has to go back.
Zach, let's get set up.
Well, people say, and I think quite rightly, he's the best defensive fullback in Super League, but he ain't bad carrying the ball either.
I think he's had a complete game.
Sinfield, Cuthbertson.
Good feet, doesn't he, Cuthbertson, as well?
Okay, hand off the ball. Go.
Burrow. If he goes again.
5. Move, Alex.
Every tackle seems a high tackle on Burrow, but...
Cuthbertson. Another kick to the corner. He's got all the talents. But Swift is able to get it back in the field of play, and it starts here for St Helens with 95 yards to go, 2 tries to score, and 5 minutes in which to do it.
He got a score in this set, John, I think.
Yeah, that was important, though, was Tom Briscoe's tackle on Swift, you know, because it was fresh air apart from Briscoe.
By the way, I hope you two have got your thinking caps on, because you've got to start thinking about more of the match between you. There's a few choices out there.
4. Move, Jamie.
Here's Walmsley. flick away, Roby. Well, Roby's trying to offload, has lost it. Leeds have it back again. Sinfield with a pass. Briscoe hangs on. And here go Leeds again.
Yeah, they're having to chase again, Saints, but it's just an error. And then once again, Leeds are turning the screw.
Burrow. Cuthbertson. Leaping away. Off to Hardacre. Hardacre carries. St Helens Arms clutching desperately for him. Oh, it's an intercept. Savelio has it back again for St Helens. There's still hope in the game. But the sands of time are running now. Those two masterminded one or two miracles in their time. Have this set of players got it within their DNA to do something similar?
I think they just got the edge and the pace out wide, Leeds. You know, they're trying to attack from depth.
Jones.
It's been a great game.
Burns, Walmsley, Savelio makes the incision, passes away. Great play by Savelio. Percival keeping it alive. Dawson bats it back to Jones, who rolls it back.
Still going on.
Savelio still going here. Carries it.
He's been tremendous, that Savelio, in what looks like a beaten team.
Right here, boys. Wait, boys.
3.5 minutes and counting. Burns trying to sashay his way through.
Ready, wait. Go.
Quinlan. Walsh.
Tackle 5.
Couple of dummies, not ball. This is it. This is it.
Wait, don't go early. Don't.
You rather fancy if St Helens come up empty-handed here, that it will be Leeds' night. Burns puts the kick high. Hardacre. Oh, there's a collision there. Hardacre and Quinlan. Saints keep it momentarily alive, but there is a penalty. I think the referee took a long, hard look at that and decided penalty for Leeds. So, that is probably that for St Helens. Leeds are going to hang on here. And you two have got your man of the match, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I think that Walmsley has played exceptionally well. Savelio, you know, anybody from the Leeds side can have won it, but I think significantly the kicking game has been the difference tonight, and that's been orchestrated, as you said, game management. And my man of the match, Ladbrokes Challenge Cup man of the match, is Kevin Sinfield.
Well, congratulations to Kevin Sinfield, and I assume you agree with that, JK?
Very much so, yeah. I mean, but the biggest prize for Kevin Sinfield will be returning to Wembley in his last season as a rugby league player.
Cuthbertson. Oh, Burrow's knocked on. There'll be some self-chastising going on down there. It doesn't really matter in the context. He knows now that he's on his way back to Wembley with this Leeds side.
Discipline, boys. Keepers discipline.
And deservedly so. They've been tremendous, haven't they? They really have. That first 20 minutes, it was as if they were in fast forward. It was so quick, the game.
Very clinical as well. But you've got to give credit to St Helens as well. They've hung on in there, come back.
That's been a great contest.
Brilliant.
A great contest.
Go.
Walmsley. Just about 90 seconds remaining of St Helens Cup dreams. Leeds have done the business.
Move, Carl! Come on! Get in. Don't go early. Go.
Roby. Walsh. Flanagan.
4. Move, Adam! Back in, Zach!
St Helens have still got a heck of a lot to play for this season. With the Super 8s about to start, they'll be hoping to get the League Leaders' Shield and the Grand Final win as well, but the treble is over. Leeds still have that treble as a possibility.
Play on.
McCarthy Scarsborough. Makeshift dummy half. Walsh. Hurling it. Turner.
5.
Trying to go for the angle. Lost the ball in the tackle. That is that. 40 seconds left to play.
Marvellous defence, wasn't it, as well? Real commitment to the cause by the Rhinos. Kieran Cunningham will be bitterly disappointed, but I'm sure he'll coach in many, many more big games in his career.
Wait!
Well, there's no harder place to lose, they say, than a Challenge Cup semi-final.
Good hit.
So St Helens will be feeling it, but Leeds at the other end of that spectrum, who went to Wembley and won last year, have a chance for a double in 2015. Rob Burrow, as a seconds countdown, the hooter will sound. It is Brian McDermott's Leeds, who are back at Wembley for the Challenge Cup final.
Yeah, I think they just deserve it as well. Their performance in the first half an hour of the first half, and again 10 minutes of the second half, they just kept their distance. And I think the game management, the variety and the quality of their kicking game, and of course you have special players like Callum Watkins who make that difference. So Leeds will be one hell of a side to beat.
What a fantastic atmosphere, what a fantastic evening it's been. The crowd's enjoyed it, I'm sure the viewers have enjoyed it. There's only the Saints players who were disappointed, but delight for the Rhinos, and delight especially for Kevin Sinfield and Jamie Peacock.
Warrington and Hulkingston Rovers look on with interest. They get the chance to go into contest tomorrow, but it's Leeds who are in the Wembley final on August the 29th. 24 points to 14. They have beaten St Helens.
Brian McDermott, the winning Leeds coach, is with me. Brian, congratulations. It was a heck of a game. How did you get over the line eventually?
That was a tough game, that. I think everybody had known the start we had. I thought we had a cracking start. I got hold of the game there, really, and some really scary moments and shaky moments in that second half for us. Saints absolutely threw everything at us, and it was a real contest there. But I think the start pretty much got us the game.
Being picky, were you disappointed you didn't have a bigger lead perhaps at half-time, given the dominance?
Not disappointed, but that was an issue. Not disappointed because Saints are a good team and you don't always get what you want, do you? We had possession a hell of a lot, and we're very dominant in that opening stages, and come in and we'd only scored a couple of tries. Probably would have liked to score more, but certainly not. I thought it was an outstanding. We talked about being outstanding that first half. We congratulated ourselves, but we knew we had to put another effort in that second. And Saints, while they'll be very disappointed, I don't think they should feel too bad. They absolutely threw everything at us in that second half.
And in the half-time interval, your message to the players was, we know Saints come back.
Listen, the best thing about St Helens is that sometimes they're not flash, but they're very dogged and still get their job done. That proves it there in that second half.
Thanks, Brian. Let me bring you Ladbrokes Challenge Cup man of the match in, Kevin Sinfield. Kevin, that was a terrific game of rugby league, wasn't it?
I thought it was a great game for TV. That's what this sport's about, and I thought it was a great advert. Look, Saints are a champion side, and I don't think they deserved that today. I thought they were very good. I thought that second half was painful. It hurt, and I feel for them today. They've got great support. They're a fantastic club, but thankfully we made the final today.
And the dream is still on to go out on the high of winning at Wembley again.
Yeah, look, it's not about me. It's about the club continuing to win trophies and improve each season. And with some of the young boys we've got, some of the performances that our young boys have put in again, some of our new overseas recruits have been fantastic. So we need to improve again. Great game to be involved in, especially when you win. But like I said, I thought Saints were fantastic as well today.
Well done, Kevin.
Thank you. Cheers.
JP, I've got Jamie Peacock with me. JP, you've got to talk us through that try that you scored in the second half. It wasn't only a 40-metre run, it had the big right foot step in it as well.
Well, Rob, it's all still there in the locker. It just don't come out every now and then. So, yeah, I was delighted to score. What an effort from the boys, though. Great crowd here, Dave. We had to dig deep today, win really deep. Found those extra efforts in it and win at Wembley again. Can't wait.
Now, you spoke about it this week, how one of your dreams is to get back to Wembley, try and get some success in your final season. You've made that dream. It must be a dream come true.
Yeah, well, we're there now. The key is to win it now. We've got to Wembley. That's one step gone. 3-4 weeks' time we're at Wembley. The aim is to win it again. That will be the dream.
And how fantastic have your fans been this afternoon also?
The fans, they've been outstanding. Look at it. This is why I love the game, why I love playing. I'll miss it when I finish, but I'll cherish these moments. I'll live with you forever.
Thank you very much, mate.
Adam Quinlan from St Helens is with me. Adam, did the better team win on the day in the end?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Leeds got off to a flyer there. We went into half-time pretty confident. We done well to only go in 8 points down, and we felt we had a bit of momentum. But then they started the second half like they did the first half, and yeah, they'll probably just do good tonight.
In that first 30 minutes, was it just a case of hanging on for St Helens?
Yeah, well, that's it. We knew they'd come out hard and fast, and they did, and we just had to weather the storm, and we were pretty happy with how we did, and you know, only going in 8 points down, and we felt we had the momentum going in, so we were confident, but they just started again the second half.
It's no consolation, but it was a terrific game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it was good for the fans, and that not so good for us. You know, we give it everything there, and unfortunately just weren't good enough tonight.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, mate.
Disappointment for the St Helens players and fans, but Brian Noble, Leeds were excellent tonight, and even when they wobbled a bit, they rode it out.
I think for our viewers, I think the starts of both halves really put Leeds in a position where they were never comfortable, but Saints were great. My other observation would be, I think the kicking game of Leeds was just a little bit better than St Helens. St Helens couldn't mount any pressure at the right times or keep pressure on. They showed what a champion team they are, St Helens, by the way they came back and very nearly got back in.
From the Saints' point of view, Paul?
Disappointing. Obviously, you want to get to Wembley, you're not made it. I thought they were very resilient, especially the way they hung in there in the first half when things were going against them. And in the second period, they came in strong and got it back to 18-14 and looked the better team at that point. But Leeds, like they do, and having the players that they do, like Kevin Sinfield, know how to close out games.
Just very quickly, Earl, 5th final in 6 years for Rhinos, which just shows remarkable consistency.
It's absolutely ridiculous in how they managed to achieve this every single season, but they have this formula that works. They work hard for each other, and again, they deserved it today. Saints, though, fantastic that second half. They deserved a little bit more.
All right, thank you very much to all three of you. Plenty more reaction and analysis on the BBC Sport website. Tomorrow, we're at Warrington. We've got Warrington against Hull KR, the second semi-final live from Leeds. They're fighting for a place at Wembley. The holders are waiting for them.
The Ashes moves on to Trent Bridge on Thursday now after England wrapped up the third test in 3 days, and there'll be live commentary on 5 Live Sports Extra. Today's action's wrapped up in just a few minutes in the brilliant pint-sized Ashes, available now on the BBC Sport website. And tomorrow night from 7, join Michael Vaughan on 5 Live, taking your cricket calls on 6 Duck 6.
We intend to live in our own way. Loyalty, friendship and sex.
Loyalty is a primary colour.
Freedom.
Have you noted signs of depravity?
What does it matter? Who puts what where and with whom? I wish so much I could make you happy.
The story of the Bloomsbury Group.
And so it begins.
A new 3-part drama, Life in Squares, continues Monday at 9 on BBC Two.
is next.
We began in a diamond formation, but then I quickly switched to hearts.
Hurry! It's the final weekend of the Harvey's Blue Cross sale, with huge savings on sofas and dining furniture, like this stylish 3-seater leather sofa, now $899. This large extending dining table with 4 chairs, just $599. Or this stylish 3-seater recliner at just $549. All available with up to 4 years interest-free credit. It's your last chance to save in the Harvey's Blue Cross sale. Ends Tuesday.
Gambleaware.co.uk.
Welcome to the exclusive William Hill Vegas featuring Mayfair Roulette. Unique gameplay features and slick pattern betting. The exclusive Vegas Millions, where it's only our players that win. Mayfair Blackjack with more opportunities to win and odds of up to 100 to 1. Online or on mobile. Go to williamhill.com/Vegas.
The new season is here, and this is your chance to win £50 million with Prem Predictor from William Hill. Predict how the Premier League table will finish at the end of the season, and if you're correct, you'll win £50 million. Who will claim a top 4 spot? Who are you tipping for relegation? Play Prem Predictor today for your chance to win £50 million. Play online, in shop, or download the Prem Predictor app. William Hill, the home of betting. When the fun stops, stop.
Yesterday afternoon, 2 adult lions killed several people in Los Angeles.
Something strange is occurring in the animal kingdom.
Predators kill for food, but these people, they were just murdered. So it has begun.
What has begun?
The awakening.
Animals are communicating with each other, long distance. The animals, they're no longer afraid of us. It's all over the world and it can't be stopped. I promise you, we will be fine.
The spectacular new series, Zoo, starts Sunday 16th of August on Sky 1 HD.
Every curve, every sensual stroke, and every intimate detail. Sky Arts delves deeply into a season of programs that exposes the most tantalizing subjects in art. Erotica season continues Wednesday at 9 with Kama Sutra of the Ballet Boys on Sky Arts, or catch up on demand.
Your great Sky movie summer has only just begun.
Here we go.
Because we're giving you more of the biggest box office hits and brand new movies every week.
I see a match made in heaven.
So, there's always something new to watch.
Let's do it.
That's Sky Movies. Always entertaining. Whenever you want, wherever you are.
Well, I was offered another deal, but I'm sticking.
England have gone 2-1 up in the Ashes after thrashing Australia by 8 wickets at Edgbaston.
It means England have to win one of the last 2 remaining tests to guarantee regaining the urn.
The Scottish Premiership returns this weekend. Celtic aiming to win their 5th consecutive league title. Their campaign kicks off at home to Ross County. Last season, Aberdeen were Celtic's closest rivals, and goalkeeper Craig Gordon expects them to challenge again this season.
You can't really read too much into pre-season form. Obviously, Aberdeen have done well in Europe in the competitive games that they've played. They've not lost many players from last season, and they've added. So I think you would think they would be strong again. I think Hearts coming up will look to do well in their first season, but there could be a couple more that surprise. It could be difficult for Aberdeen if they do get to the group stages of the Europa League, the amount of matches. But if they don't, then I think they'll be even stronger for not getting there. But certainly they've done very well so far and look like they could cause a problem again this season.
And Dundee United manager Jackie McNamara believes his squad is strong enough to challenge for the title, despite selling 3 players to Celtic this year. Their first game is against Aberdeen on Sunday, and it's live on Sky Sports.
We have a lot of good players here. You know, players come and go in at every club. We're sold, we're surplus to requirements. It's up to the lads in there. We believe they're good enough to do very well this season, and you know, we're optimistic about our chances of success, and we're looking forward to the start.
Do you need a bit of stability here after all the focus that's been on transfers over the last 12 months?
I know it's a bit of stability. I think you know, people can look at different ways. For me, it shows we're doing things properly here. You know, Nadir, you just spoke about there, came in trial 2 years ago from nowhere. You know, I think we're doing a lot of good things here, and it's up to us to keep that going and making sure the next group of players are ready to step up and you know, and take that pressure and deal with the expectations of the club.
Hearts are back in the Premiership after winning promotion last season. Manager Robbie Neilson hopes the momentum gained from winning the title will help them hit the ground running.
I think any team coming to Tynecastle are facing Hearts when we take such a big support everywhere. They lift their game against us, and it's part and parcel of being at a club like this. I have to deal with it, but you know, as a squad, we've had a lot of changes over the summer, as with most teams. So I think the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season, it's always difficult to judge teams and where they are and the different players are bringing in. So yeah, hopefully we can get a bit of an advantage by being the team that came up.
Hearts will be presented with a flag by a club legend for their achievements before Sunday's league opener with St Johnstone at Tynecastle. 1950s Hearts League and Cup winner Freddie Giddon will unfurl the flag.
And Rangers manager Mark Warburton says he's keen to add to his squad, but he refused to comment on Hibernian Scott Allen. Rangers have had 2 bids rejected for the Hibs midfielder, and Hibs insist they will not sell.
Scott is a Hibs player. You know, and I've said many times it's disrespectful to even talk about another club's player. All I would say is, from our Rangers' perspective, is we will always look for quality players. We have to. I'm repeating myself now. It's an important point now for us, because at the moment we stop looking for quality players and we become stagnant and we go backwards. So always looking to improve where we can. Every player in the Rangers squad knows that's the nature of the beast here. There's always competition for the shirt, and you have to respond in the right way to it. And the moment we take away that competition away, or that challenge away, then we have a real problem.
You said to us at the Cup draw earlier on the week you weren't aware of another bid. Since then there has been another bid. Is that something that you're having any direct influence on?
My job here is managing the squad of players and the staff, and making sure that the environment here is right to produce the level of performance that we're seeking. That's all it is. It is about the environment you create. So when I talk about inequality on and off the pitch, that can include staff members as well. It's making sure that we have the best environment here in all areas to best prepare the players, develop the players, because at the end of the day, the players are your balance sheet items, aren't they? That's the squad of Rangers Football Club, and we have to make sure we give them the best opportunity to be the best they can.
Luke Campbell and Tommy Coyle have both weighed in under the lightweight limit ahead of their highly anticipated world title eliminator. Live on Sky Sports, 2012 Olympic gold medalist Campbell is unbeaten in 11 professional fights and is predicting an explosive bout.
They were raised by the same river. Now 2 boxers with very different stories and styles are to face each other and settle scores by that river. It's not the war on the Wye, or the tiff on the taff, or even the quibble on the ribble. It's the rumble on the humber.
Let's get ready to rumble!
It's going to be an hard night, a very, very hard night.
I think if I start hitting Tommy Cole with clean shots, he's getting stopped.
9 stone, 8'5" for the undefeated Olympic gold medal champion.
For Luke Campbell, it's the first real grudge match of his career. His opponent and former sparring partner says his old friend has become conceited since that Olympic win.
Luke's not been some of the places I've been in a professional ring. He's not had to pick himself up like I have. I've made a career out of getting knocked down and getting back up again.
9 stone, 8 for Tommy Coyle.
Coyle's words don't bother Campbell. He admits he's conceited, with good reason. Coyle beware.
I can do anything in there, you know. I can box it long, I can short, I can do out. So, you know, whatever it is will happen.
In one corner, the golden boy and most decorated amateur in British boxing history, who's had just 11 fights as he plots a path to world stardom. In the other corner, a former market trader who's had twice as many pro bouts as his opponent, despite being 2 years younger. The battle of locals and opposites has Humberside divided.
It's going to live long in the memory of every person in Hull, and I'm just proud to be a part of it.
We're in a massive fight in Hull, you know. Tommy Coyle is a good fight, it's going to be a great fight. and everybody's turned out to support us. It's great.
20,000 will see it live on the banks of the Humber. It should be some rumble. Gary Cottrell, Sky Sports.
Let's take a look at how the two boxers compare. Luke Campbell is 2 years older than Tommy Coyle, but Coyle's been in 12 more fights. Campbell has won all his 11 bouts, with Coyle losing 2 of his 23. Campbell also has a better knockout rate as well.
Rafael Nadal remains on course for his third title of the year as he made it through to the semi-finals of the Hamburg Open after a straight sets win over Pablo Cuevas. Nadal broke for the second time in the match in the 7th game to take control of the first set. He went on to win that first set 6-3.
Yeah, point of the match. Plenty to enjoy during this exchange. Nadal so fast coming forward.
Nadal and Cuevas had only met once before, with Nadal winning that match, and the #1 seed moved into a 3-1 lead in the second set with a break.
Really well played. He's getting better and better.
And he took it 6-2. He's through to his 6th ATP World Tour semi-final of the season. He'll face Andrea Seppi, the Italian, who received a walkover due to Simona Bolelli pulling out with sickness.
Paul Laurie's been knocked out in the second round of his own match play tournament. Chris Doak beat him on a windy day in Aberdeen. Laurie was all square at the turn in his match, but it all went wrong on the back nine.
Way right. Oh dear, this is way right, and there is out of bounds over there.
Well, I think he's saying it's OB, so he would have played here a lot, he would know.
Peter Uihlein got the better of Matthew Fitzpatrick, and the conditions as well.
This is not easy. Okay, it's on upslope. You guys described that, yeah, but it's blowing a gale. This is my 15th tournament this year, commentary gig, and this is the worst day by far I've been out in. What a superb chip from Uihlein.
And David Howell was another player unfazed by the weather in Aberdeen.
423 yards this hole. And using the slope nicely. Very different hole today. Downwind, that's a beauty from Howell. Look at that. It's a gimme.
Leeds Rhinos are through to the Challenge Cup final at Wembley after beating St Helens 24-14 at Warrington's Halliwell Jones Stadium. Tries from Zach Hardacre, Joel Moon, Callum Watkins and Jamie Peacock in his final season as a Leeds player. It means a return to Wembley for the holders Leeds after reaching their 5th final in 6 years. The league leaders have now won all 3 fixtures against St Helens in 2015.
Surrey continued their unbeaten start in this season's Royal London One Day Cup, thanks to 98 from opener Stephen Davis in their win over Durham. Davis hit 8 fours in his innings as he put on an opening partnership of 78 with Jason Roy. But he fell 2 runs short of his century. Phil Mustard with a good piece of fielding to stump him behind. Durham's Chris Rushworth could be a possible replacement for Jimmy Anderson at Trent Bridge. He claimed his only wicket of the day in his 3rd spell when he bowled Zafar Ansari for 41. Tom Curran added an unbeaten 26 off 22 balls, including this 6, as Surrey set Durham a target of 272 to win. In reply, Durham lost their first 4 wickets for under 100 runs, including former England one-day captain Paul Collingwood. Paul Hastings managed to score a couple of 6s for Durham, but it wasn't enough because Durham would eventually fall 49 runs short of their target. Surrey, though, moved to the top of Group A with the win.
Raucous celebrations from players and fans as England beat Australia in the 3rd Ashes Test at Edgbaston to take a 2-1 lead in the series. We'll have action and reaction next.
Well, what a screamer of a goal, David.
Yeah, I was lucky. The ball landed kindly for me.
Sky Sports News through the night, sponsored by 32 Red Online Casino.
He knows But do you know that Head & Shoulders is the UK's #1 shampoo? It starts to work on dandruff after just one wash. It's also validated by the British Skin Foundation for great looking hair that's up to 100% flake free. Why choose anything but the UK's #1 shampoo?
This week only get Nike and Adidas footballs for £14.99 or 3 for £20 at...
Here comes another great offer from Betfair. Get a free bet up to £25 when you back a winner at 3-1 or more in any Channel 4 race meeting. And betting with Betfair is as simple as tap, tap, boom. This is Betfair. Tap, tap, boom.
Season of the Ladbrokes SPFL tomorrow and Sunday on Sky Sports.
92 Live starts now. We have reporters in position and they will bring you interviews, news, colour and comment from each and every one of the 92 clubs in English football.
Join Jim White for a marathon day of live coverage on Sky Sports News starting Tuesday morning from 7 a.m. Watch the world's best compete at the Bridgestone Invitational.
That's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Starts August 6th, live only on Sky Sports.
You're watching Sky Sports News HQ. Your home of sports news.
Roy, what are your tactics today? Well, if it's not going to plan, I'll be shuffling things around at half-time.
Sky Sports News through the night, sponsored by 32 Red Online Casino.
England go 2-1 up in the Ashes after a stunning 8-wicket win at Edgbaston. It means they need just one win from the final 2 tests to guarantee regaining the urn.
For Australia, concerns are growing about several players' form, and captain Michael Clarke admits he's letting his teammates down.
We've been playing with 10 players, so I think the captain's due to get off the plane and turn up.
Tiger Woods roars back to form with his lowest round of the year, a 5-under par 66.
And just hours after moving from Liverpool to West Brom, Ricky Lambert scores twice for his new club.
Hi there, this is Sky Sports News HQ. Also on the way, we'll hear from the man being tipped to replace James Anderson in the 4th Ashes test.
Plus, Jose Mourinho tells us he's trying to sign a left-back, but what about a centre-back?
Can I ask you what the current situation is regarding your pursuit of John Stones?
No.
Did you confirm that a bid was turned down this week?
No.
Do you expect to go in for him again?
No. I don't speak about players from other clubs.
First, an extraordinary win for England at Edgbaston, which has put them 2-1 up in the Ashes with 2 tests to play. They thrashed Australia by 8 wickets inside 3 days in front of a raucous Birmingham crowd. And that means England will win back the urn if they win the 4th test at Trent Bridge. Stephen Finn finished with test best figures of 6 for 79 as England bowled out Australia for 265, despite half-centuries for Peter Neville and Mitchell Starc. That left England chasing a modest target of 121. They got there with just 2 wickets down. Ian Bell, with 65 not out, his 2nd half-century of the match.
In the end, it was all over by 4 o'clock. How the Edgbaston fans loved it. And what a transformation after England were obliterated at Lord's. But for a while in the morning, it wasn't looking quite the formality that everyone was expecting. The Aussie tail was wagging, Neville was going to a half-century, and some England fans were looking edgy, as others lapped up the Aussie fight back. Stark was offering good support. The lead was approaching 3 figures. Then with Neville on 59, the breakthrough.
I think that's got him this time.
Finn man of the match after 6 for 79.
Wow.
Stark was now in a hurry, and this 6 off Moeen meant a half-century. But he lost Hazelwood after a blinding catch by Root.
Oh, look at that for a catch. Joe Root at third slip had to move really quickly to his right.
It was now just Lyon and Stark, and the number 11 was frustrating England too, as the lead went out to 120. Stark, the last man to go. Cut! Caught by the sub-fielder Josh Poysden, who was on for Anderson. It meant that England were chasing 121 with Cook quickly gone.
Bowled him.
It was an ominous sight after the collapse at Lords. Bell, though, looked up for the fight again on his home ground. What Australia didn't need was their captain spilling a straightforward Bell chance. But Hazelwood did trap live quickly. That's just 72 runs now in 6 innings this series for the Yorkshire opener. Root, though, calmed the nerves of any jittery England fans.
Oh, Joe Root.
Bell's second 50 of the match, batting at 3, was full vindication for promoting him up the order. And England went to victory in a flurry of big shots. Root smashing Lyon for 6. And Bell finishing on 65. It means that England can now win the Ashes in Nottingham next week.
Tapped away nicely by Joe Root.